just laying it on the ground. I don't care that it's freak or not. There's just a part of, like, are you big enough to play at the NFL 17 games? I think that will always be a question until he does it. It's a little bit like, and maybe now that's cropped back up, but like how we used to talk about Vinny before he played like 2 full seasons. Now, for Xavier, it's like, I do need, and now it's flared back up, of course. But the case being for Worthy is, I'm going to need to see 17 healthy games before I believe it. That's the thing. Otherwise, I'm just going to pencil you in for that 12 to 14. And that stinks, because that means there's games in which that weapon or that regular weapon's on there. Cyrus Allen, I just felt like we dodged something, because the hype train had fully, off the rails, untouchable hype, and then he got hurt.
It's such a training camp story, though, because I felt like people were way more concerned about Cyrus Allen than they were Xavier Worthy getting hurt. Xavier Worthy getting hurt is a much bigger problem, and it's also a minor thing for him, so he's going to be fine. But when he's your number 2 wide receiver, I don't think it's most likely, Cody. Like, with all due respect, I don't think that's like a thing we can agree to disagree on. Xavier Worthy is more important in 2026 to this football team than Cyrus Allen. I don't care what has happened for 5 days of unpadded practice.
So I would say 90% I agree with you in the sense that I think there's a 90% chance you're probably right. I think there's like a, maybe not 10, maybe 95%.
You think by the end of the year Cyrus Allen's better than Xavier
I think there's
Worthy.
a 5% chance of it, yeah.
Like a 1% chance.
I think there's like a 5 or 10% chance of it. It's not like all that likely. I'm not saying it's like superior, but Xavier Worthy's never gotten more than 650 yards in a season, so I have to imagine him being better anyway, which I certainly do. I think he's going to be better this season. But the way the team is talking about him and the fact that this does occasionally happen in the NFL, I'm not saying Cyrus Allen's going to end up being that guy, but the fact that it occasionally happens means he could be more important. Not likely. And if you're telling me right now, choose one to be healthy all year, I'll take Xavier Worthy.
That's my point. That's my point.
Given the two, if you're saying today, Cody, on August 3rd, which one would you like healthy for the season? You can only choose one. Worthy.
Yeah.
Because he's the 90%, as I'd mentioned, more likely to matter player this season, especially for what we've been talking about for the better part of 2 years, which is a deep passing game and a threat and big plays and all the stuff that I actually want out of this offense.
The other thing that continues to be a story, Cody, as we sit here on the first padded practice, now he's working in still on first-team reps, Jalen Morris, but first-team reps, first go, once again, Khalil Benson, the undrafted free agent out of Indiana, getting first-team reps at right tackle. Now, we'll ask Nate about this as well. Him and I have been on the same page, but I'm admitting here in about a day or two, Cody, I will change my tune if, in fact, Benson is still getting the first-team reps initially, because today's a new day, though, where we know what Jalen Moore looks like in pads. So I still am under the impression they're just giving Benson an opportunity to show them something. But I'll admit, if this continues all week, then we have to consider, no, Benson is actually the front runner for the job. I think it's too early still today to say that because, once again, Jalen Moore is still working in with the ones. And I'm just under the impression that they want to get every look possible on Benson because they know what they have and more. But if this continues all week, then I actually believe that Benson would have the inside track. But I'm not there yet.
So, no, but I am at the 60-40 camp. Like, I would have been, I don't know, man. I've lost like 10% a day in juice, I feel like. If you'd asked me 1 week ago today, I'd have been like 90% Jalen Moore wins a job.
Yeah.
And then the day after that, it was like 80% because I'm like, oh, that's weird. He was getting first-team snaps. And then it was like 70% because he got him again, and now we're in the first padded practice, and I'm like, 60-40? It's Jalen Moore's job, but I certainly can't rule out that it would be Khalil Benson. Some part of it, admittedly, is the sentence, undrafted free agent, non-priority undrafted free agent, rookie, Khalil Benson, is the starting right tackle for Patrick Mahomes coming off a devastating knee injury? What? In what universe? Now, I will say, on offense, and this is where we sometimes get lost in the rookie stuff, on offense, Andy Reid will play best player available in positions that aren't wide receiver or tight end, right? So he's shown a willingness to, and I'll point this out, Trey Smith went into camp competing with a veteran guard. He won the job. Josh Simmons came into camp competing against, now he's a first-round pick.
Yeah.
But he came in to camp competing for the job. He won the job. Like, he has been willing to do this in the past, so I can't completely rule out. And he's let Jalen Moore get beat out for the job more than once. And so, like, at least once. And so, like, it's not a no. It's not nothing. I have to pay attention now.
It's getting far more interesting. I still wonder if it's, hey, this is the first padded day. Let's see. But it's definitely something to keep our eye on. I still can't get past the fact, Cody, though, that Jalen Moore, while it's his final year of his contract, he's got an $18.6 million cap hit. And I know we all love to say, we all have to think that the coach always, no matter what Cody is going to play, week one, truly the guy that wins the job and that the front office and everything. That's not always true, though. $18.6 million is still also why I'm leaning that Jalen Moore will be the week one starter.
It's just weird, though, because they were willing to pay him last year as a backup, and he was making plenty of money then.
11.1, yeah.
So it's not like he was a cheap player, and eventually they did need him. I will say that completely knocks the Esapole might not even make the roster. If no offense, he's at risk of making the roster. If they already have their swing tackle in either Jalen Moore or Khalil Benson, unless they're going to keep a third tackle this year as an additional swing guy. Typically they keep that guy at guard, so I would guess that that's not the case. But you and I have to absolutely, no question, take it more serious than we did a week ago.
Yeah.
There's just no way not to. Now I will say, I've been covering training camp for more than a decade. I added up, I think I first covered a Chiefs training camp in 2014, and I've covered at least one practice at every training camp.
How old are you, man? How
since
old are you?
2014, I first covered a Chiefs training camp, and I've covered at least one practice, and in most cases, nearly all of them, every year since. And so there are a lot of camp stories that just happen, and I've grown sour to it. Alex, you've been doing this long enough. Since 2020, we've been coming up to camp. You grow, or 2021, you get sour on it, right? In the sense that, I don't know how many I've seen of these come and go. I don't know how many times I got to hear our old producer Nick Schwartz yell Jody Fortson and be like, come on, man, I know what's happening here. I've been through these stories. I've seen these, random dudes. They try to make a thing all the time at camp a million times. The way they're using Benson feels a little bit closer to the Trey Smith story that became a story. The Cyrus Allen one, we don't have a comp because they haven't had a wide receiver in the time I've been covering, maybe Tyreek, in which they were relatively unheralded, and then it actually turned into something. They are talking about him slightly different than some of the other guys, but not so different that makes me think I'm ready to pencil him in as Puka Nacua or whatever,
Our training camp coverage presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Coming up in about 20 minutes, we will talk about the MLB trade deadline, which will wrap up at 5 o'clock Central Time today. We'll see if the Royals have another move in store. Also, what other big-time baseball moves happen. Skubal, as expected, ends up with the Dodgers. What does it actually mean for the future of baseball? We'll get to that and talk about Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha. There was a report over the weekend that suggested the Royals were turning down offers. We'll get into that conversation in just a bit. But we do know the trade the Royals did make was Lane Thomas. And this was probably the easiest trade to make if you were the Royals.
He was always getting traded.
Right?
Yeah.
You signed him in the offseason. He's actually had a very nice year for the Royals to try to help the outfield. And he's not under contract into the year. And so this is a guy that you absolutely had to trade away. And because of the right-handed hitting market, I actually think this is one of those, and there's plenty of reasons to be critical of this front office, and we'll talk about Lugo and Wacha in a little bit, but this was one of the good moves, right? This was a move where you signed a guy in the offseason, now you flip him for two prospects, one that might have a role here fairly soon, the other one, who knows, right? He's a A-ball pitcher.
He's a 23-year-old in A-ball.
So who knows about that?
He's an old A-ball player, but he got hurt. He got Tommy John.
But the other guy, the Braun is an eighth prospect in the Braves system for a guy that was going to walk out the door on you in 2.5 months or whatever. So I think they did pretty well with that particular trade, moving on from Lane Thomas. But that's the easy one. The question is, are there other moves happening by the time we get to 5 o'clock today? And tomorrow, J.J. Picola will join us on the show to wrap up the trade deadline conversation, and we'll see. We'll see what if they have another move in store today or not.
Well, and that's the question, really. And I know tomorrow we'll probably end up leading the show with how did the trade deadline go, and did they do anything else outside of it? The Lane Thomas one, I got to say, this feels like the kind of move you just have to make. Look, the Holton kid, Carter Holton, that's a dart throw. That's hey, we see that this kid had talent. He was once a second-round pick. Maybe we liked him coming out of the draft, and maybe we can turn him into something down the road. He's been hurt. He hasn't gotten out of A-ball. He's 23 years old, so he's far too old to be an A-ball for a traditional pitcher. But they're probably saying, you know what? And here's the thing, I think you and I have said enough about Kendrick Churio and David Shields that you might think that the Royals' pitching is actually really good in the minor leagues. It's not. It is a number of their pitchers have either been hurt or have struggled. And so their pitching depth in the minors isn't as good as you would like it to be, in my opinion. So adding two more arms, because a lot of people go to be like, well, don't they need a future second baseman or a left fielder or a center fielder, all these positions? They need pitching. Believe it or not, they got some star guys maybe in Churio and Shields who are several years away. They don't have anybody, as probably evidenced by the fact that Scott Barlow is still pitching for them in AAA. They don't have anybody in AAA they trust for the Major League roster. At least Lucas Braun could provide that, right? Like, at least he's in AAA now. I wouldn't be surprised if he pitched for the team this year. Would you? Why not get a look at the kid? Who else is pitching in the bullpen right now? They got the worst bullpen in baseball.
Yeah, in terms of the bullpen, there's no reason for him not to eventually get an opportunity. It also depends on who they trade. Do they trade Daniel Lynch? Do they trade anybody else? But yes, this bullpen in particular, there's nobody in AAA. If they haven't had an opportunity to pitch, there's nobody that shouldn't get an opportunity to pitch in this bullpen. One of the worst bullpens in Royals history.
I don't want to try to find it. It's going to take me too long now. Somebody put out the tweet this weekend. I think it was Mike Petrelio or whatever, or just putting up the stats for the Royals bullpen this year. Essentially, the Royals bullpen is like if Juan Soto hit against you every day. Juan Soto, who is largely considered one of the best players in all of the sport, it'd be like if Juan Soto hit against you every single time the bullpen took them out. It's a nightmare. So this kid, as far as I'm concerned, should be in the bullpen today. Like, just, he's been in AAA for half the season, call him up. Like, I'm not even kidding, because at this point, I think I can make an argument that Scott Barlow should be pitching for this bullpen, and that is a horrifying thought in the year 2026. And, like that part of it. Now, I will say, I think there are other easier moves in my head to make. This is the thing that's interesting about the organization. We'll talk about the Lugo Waka stuff here at 10:30, but this was the only, layup. So, I'm glad you hit the layup, but we got to start, shooting from 12, 14, 16 feet. We might need to take a 3. But you guys got to do something else.
Yeah, it's the only layup because the other guys with expiring contracts are hurt or were terrible this year. Carlos Estevez, for example, and some of these other guys you would have thought. Chris Bubich, these guys that maybe you would have been trading probably at this very time. They're all hurt or didn't pitch really this particular season. I would like to think that they've got another move moving forward. My opinion. Daniel Lynch to me is actually one of the obvious ones for me. As well. And look, the deadline's not till 5 o'clock, so it's not as if they can't still do that. But Waka and Lugo are the two most interesting names, and as you said, we will discuss that a bit later. The other part just with the Royals right now is I know we're not watching game to game anymore.
Getting swept by the Rockies this weekend.
The Colorado Rockies, who are just basically the same record as you essentially heading into the series. You get swept, and not just swept, you get embarrassed. Absolutely embarrassed the entire weekend in Colorado.
At this point, can I get that mad? I mean, did you see their lineup some of these days? Did you see who their pitchers and did you happen to see who their pitcher and player of the month were?
Well, that's a bad sign already. When Tyler Tolbert and Randy Dobnak are your AL or your Royals July pitcher and hitter of the month.
That's not a good sign.
No, that tells you everything.
Yeah, that is a concerning sign. For where the season has gone.
My goodness.
Win losses. It's baseball, so you won't catch me saying I hope they lose a few more games to become the 3rd pick instead of the 2nd. It's baseball. That kid will get drafted at 18 years old. I won't see him for 5 years, maybe. And unless there's a Bryce Harper in this year's draft, whatever. Now, and in addition to it, on top of it, now it's a lottery, and so that version of it, it's That takes away at least a portion of it. So I can't get hung up, but I will say they found
I'm not tracking their record,
they found some new lows this year. That's getting swept by the Rockies over the weekend, who's a team who's miserable, and getting embarrassed by them. Yeah, that should sting.
This week. I mean, again, last week was the Twins walk-off grand slam with 2 outs and 0-2 counts in the bottom of the 9th inning, and then in Colorado you get swept. So yeah, I'm not record tracking anymore, but I still want to keep an eye. Is this team embarrassing? Is this team going out there and being competitive against teams that are, I thought, worse than them, but I guess not?
It's just so, and they're getting ready to get maybe some guys back, obviously.
Yeah, Isbell.
And some others, but the problem is and I'll ask JJ about it again. I know we already asked him about it. What the hell's going on with the injuries? Why is everyone who is hurt coming back hurt? Are you just... Did you walk under a ladder by a black cat on a rabbit's footer? What anti-curse did you do?
Yeah,
or is there something fundamentally flawed with your recovery process? And I'll be honest, I'd be asking myself that question very seriously.
The only thing missing from this year is a Harrison Bader type of injury. You saw that over the weekend for the Giants.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, Harrison Bader of the Giants, they're not going to pay him the rest of the year because he crashed a scooter into a fire truck, and then the fire truck ran over his injured foot.
Yep.
That's a real baseball injury that happened over the weekend.
That's an all-timer.
That is an all-timer. We know, like, back in the day, Salvador Perez had the luggage incident or whatever. There's been some other crazy stories, someone, like, slicing their hand making a sandwich or whatever, baseball injuries. But the Harrison Bader one is an all-timer, as you said, and that's the only thing missing from this absolutely dismal, embarrassing, whatever word you want to use to describe the 2026 Kansas City Royals season.
It's unbelievable. I'm looking back at it because, like, I remember seeing it this weekend. But the idea of you, a professional baseball player making millions of dollars, crashing into the back of a fire department fire engine, the wheel then rolling over your already injured foot, and he had been seen drinking in bars in multiple neighborhoods before the crash. Damn, Harrison. Yeah, I got to be honest. At almost all times, Gold, when something weird happens, I'm pro, even if the team doesn't have to pay them. You know, give them their check. Like, it's not – you were planning on paying him anyway. It doesn't make a big difference.
Wait, you'd still pay Bader?
No.
Okay.
I said in almost every case,
okay.
I'm team, hey, figure out a way to pay the guy. Just take care of your people. Not that one. I can't. I watched a car run into a backing up fire truck once going into a fire
what I'm
station.
confused by.
And I'll never understand how you miss a fire truck.
Well, other than just running into it with your scooter, that's one thing. That's a funny enough story. But then explain to me, why did the fire truck back up onto his foot, though? Like, that's what I'm still confused by the story. He runs into the fire truck with a scooter, then the fire truck backs up onto his foot. Why was the fire truck backing up once it got hit?
I don't know. Maybe he was backing up the whole time.
Okay.
Maybe he was backing into the fire station. Like, the time I saw a late, I'm not kidding, I was fully stopped, and a fire truck was backing into the fire station in Waldo. And I watched a lady, as the truck was backing up into the fire station, just run into it.
Okay.
And you're like, it's a fire truck. Like, what? How did you miss it? It's right there. So maybe it was in the process of backing up from a light or something. I don't know.
Man, by the way,
that's crazy.
This year we have partnered with KCUC, who's donating $50 to the Prostate Cancer Foundation. For every home run the boys in blue hit this season, 1 in 8 men will face prostate cancer. Early detection saves lives. And at KCUC, Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team, you see the best in KC. Scheduled today at kcuc.com. It is a Monday, first full padded practice here in St. Joe. It's time to get to Cloudy with a Chance.
With your training camp forecast, I'm meteorologist Cloudy with a Chance. Sunny today, highs around 89. Perfect weather for some football fun. Or, you know, you want to head outside, pop the shirt off, take some selfies. Drew, it's your time to shine, pal. With your training camp forecast, I'm meteorologist Cloudy with a Chance for Cody and Gold on 96.5 The Fan.
Thank you, Cloudy. There you go. Thank you. Drew, welcome back, by the way, my man. Welcome back. That weather report was just for you, it sounds like.
Yeah.
In your return, you know?
Yeah, there was a lot of the shirt was not on too often while you're at the beach, obviously. I'm not like JT. I don't keep things covering my skin when I'm at the beach.
Yeah, did you hear about that?
I knew that so there's only 3 things that I knew. I tried to stay away from all social media. All I knew was the unfortunate situation around Eric Bieniemy and his family, Cyrus Allen and Xavier Worthy having the injury scares, and Tarek Skubal getting traded, and then JT went viral. Those are the only 4 things that I knew from the week.
Did you know what JT went viral for?
So he explained it to me. I did not know until JT told me about it this morning, and I do have some thoughts.
We can get to those.
I do have some. If you want to right now, I can give you my immediate reaction.
No. Let's.
Okay.
We need more time than 3 minutes to get to that. That's not nearly enough.
I knew he went viral, but apparently he was telling me, he was like, even the sales staff knew. Like, overheard.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wow, man, you're going.
People think you're off the hook now for your shirtless selfie videos because of JT's comments.
Yeah, I don't know much I don't think I've ever said anything that can top that to this point.
No,
It's going to be tough. I'll say that. You're going to have to. I mean. That's one of the more insane things admitted on these airwaves by any person, maybe ever.
He showed me the screenshot that he took a couple of screenshots of your guys' facial expression when he was telling the story.
Yeah, man. How was Outer Banks, though? I saw there was some news story before you left of houses falling to the ocean. Did you see any of those happen? That's why you're out there.
I did not see any of that happen, no. But it was a really good week. I did have, for the first time, flight delay issues that caused me to stay in Indy an extra day, which was unfortunate.
Oh, you flew this time. I thought you were driving.
He flew to Indy and then drove from Indy to here.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so I drove to Indy, and then, I drove to Indy originally, went to the NASCAR race with my dad on Sunday, the Brickyard 400, and then on Monday I was scheduled to fly out. Get there on Monday, everything is good until we were about to board the plane. And the pilot says, hey, we need everybody to get off. There's staffing issues in Philadelphia, which to me was kind of baffling in the first place. Like in Philadelphia, you got staffing issues, but whatever. So I tried to make it that night. I rescheduled my flight to another airport that was close to Norfolk, had it scheduled, ready to go. That flight got delayed. And I was like, hey, I need to go back and stay another night at my parents' place, and then flew out the next morning. But that was an adventure, but yeah, it was.
So one less day
good
on the beach, but overall the trip was a success.
Yeah, overall it was a very good vacation. Good to catch up with some family and stuff like that, and got tanner, which was
Tanner
the goal as well.
burn.
So
Yeah, there's a difference.
I
Cody
got
wants to
burned
know.
on my nose and on my face. The burn on my nose kind of hurts right now, unfortunately, but everywhere else is pretty good in terms of a tan.
What about the beach spot? The text line's wondering, it's a public beach.
Did you have
and
your normal spot?
A couple of years ago, you got upset because somebody else took your spot on a public beach. What about this time?
So traditionally, the spot that we're at was taken every day. My mom did say something about it, which I thought was funny. My mom was like, yeah, people are setting up their stuff like really early. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, that's interesting, because normally they'll set up around like 9 in the morning or so. She's like, yeah, there's people's stuff out like at 7 a.m. They're just setting up their stuff and just leaving it there. I was like, that's interesting. That's never happened before, but not the traditional spot. But hey, it was good. No complaints from that standpoint. There was no beef to be had, if you will.
Early bird gets the worm,
I guess
I also
so.
think it should be illegal. I think it should be punishable by fine. That people do this at resorts or do this at the beach. It's insane. If you're not gonna actively be at the beach, waking up at 7 just to set your stuff out and then leave for 3 hours to come back later, loser behavior.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
I'll back you up.
I'm just
loser
laughing at
behavior.
the part that the fact that it's a public beach is why I always thought those things were hilarious.
Oh yeah, that part.
Yeah,
I'm
this
just
is
saying
my spot.
questionable
Yeah, that's
human
fine.
behavior, not Drew is owed the spot. Let me say that. But once you're out at the beach, it's fine.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't have to be
Best.
sitting in your chair the whole time.
Beach
Exactly.
is the best. Absolutely love the beach.
I did go on a run before we go to break. I did go on a run in my bare feet on the beach. Bad idea. Bad idea.
Oh yeah, dude, that'll chew them up.
Yeah, I basically gave myself a pedicure by running in the sand, and I got a big blister on on one of my toes.
Well, the
which
pedicure is how
sucked.
we got to the discussion about JT's socks and feet
I did not get a
shoes last
pedicure. I
week,
did get a
so.
massage, though, and I had the cupping done again, which
Again?
was wonderful.
We talked about that last year. Remember
Yeah,
he
I
had
do
the
remember.
cupping for the first time.
Forgot about that.
But yeah, it was good.
He's about
I'm happy to do
relaxation,
that.
man. He's about relaxation.
Nothing wrong with a massage. I'm just surprised he's choosing the cupping instead of just a regular,
He's an athlete.
Swedish massage or whatever
Yeah.
they call it.
When are you going to start doing the shirtless selfie, Gold?
That's not happening.
Well, the gym selfie started, and
The
you used to
gym
be.
selfie?
I don't know if you were an
Just
anti-gym
wait.
selfie guy, but you weren't a gym selfie guy.
I was
Yeah.
not a gym selfie
I think
guy.
you might have been anti, or at least questionable gym
Yeah,
selfie guy.
my thing is, I think there's a difference. I think there's a difference when we were talking about Drew, though. Shirtless while married selfie different than single guy just with his shirt on at the gym selfie. I think there's a difference. I think there's a big difference.
If he had a shirt on, is it acceptable?
More so, yeah.
But you think more acceptable
Okay.
as a single guy than a
Absolutely.
married guy
1,000%
to do the gym selfie?
1,000%.
I don't think there's any difference there.
Oh, I think so.
Man,
I
that's
think
tough.
so.
Okay, all right. I have to
Just
think
wait,
on that one.
Gold. You're going to be,
I don't have enough
you're
time
gonna
to
be going
diagnose
on
it at
runs
the
or
moment.
walks, and yeah,
I have
you're
to
going
think
to be doing
about
it too.
I think it's questionable in the same facet.
Up next, though, let's talk a little Major League Baseball. The trade deadline at 5 o'clock today. We had the big splash trade by the Dodgers. What does it tell us about baseball? And does it mean we're headed towards a lockout?
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help, and help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
This is the story of the one. The one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
Whether you're commuting to work or heading out for a fast coffee break, getting an auto insurance quote is just a tap away. With AAA, you're always connected, so you can focus on the road ahead. Rest easy knowing AAA's got you covered, no matter where life takes you. AAA, we're always with you. To start your quote, visit AAA.com/insurance. Insurance provided to qualified AAA members by Automobile Club Inter-Insurance Exchange and AAA affiliate insurers. Membership requires a separate payment.
Kansas City is buzzing this summer, and the excitement keeps rolling into August at the Advent Health Championship, Kansas City's only professional golf tournament, August 20th through 23rd at Blue Hills Country Club. Watch the next generation of PGA Tour stars compete for their shot at the big stage. Follow your favorite player, enjoy the action from greenside, or upgrade to an all-inclusive hospitality experience. With tickets starting at just $10, there's something for everyone. Keep your summer going. Get your tickets today at AdventHealthChampionship.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more, so you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Chiefs coverage is brought to you by Peter's Clothiers. The last 3 days of our summer sale are here. Save from 30 to 50% on suits, sports coats, and sportswear at Peter's Clothiers. Find the look you want at the price you'll love. Visit Peter's Clothiers at 124th and State Line. Sale ends soon.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, we're back here on Cody and Gold live in St. Joe as training camp continues. First day of full pads for the Chiefs. We'll fill you in on anything notable that continues to happen as they practice. And then after practice today, Kingsley Suamataia going to join us exclusively here on 96.5 The Fan. If you're just joining, though, for the first time, again, Mansour Delane still wearing the yellow non-contact jersey. Ashton Gelati, no helmet today after he hurt his hamstring last week. Omar Norman Lott, of course, still on the PUP list. Xavier Worthy and Cyrus Allen not at practice today as they both had injury scares on Saturday, although sounds like they avoided anything serious, but enough to where they're at least holding him out of practice today. And our training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Let's briefly pivot to baseball, though, Cody. We talked about Lane Thomas getting traded, and that was actually a very good trade for the Royals. The big blockbuster trade in Major League Baseball, we all expected. Nobody's surprised that
I'm not surprised.
Tarek Skubal ends up with the L.A. Dodgers, but it's prompted more of the conversation, of course, about where we're at in baseball. For starters, let's just start with the Skubal trade. I think it's been interesting to see the reaction where people thought the Tigers didn't get enough for him. The Tigers got Zaire Hope, River Ryan, and Brady Smith. River Ryan's like an old prospect in AAA. Zaire Hope, though, is the one of the top prospects in that trade, and then Brady Smith. And I always think we think that that a player like Skubal, who's also on a rental, remember, as if they were supposed to get the number 1 and number 2 prospect in all of baseball for him. That just doesn't happen. I think I'm in the minority on this. I disagree with a lot of the reaction of, the Tigers got fleeced. I disagree. Everybody knows you were going to trade him once it got to this week, and he's a rental, Cody. He's a rental. I just disagree with everybody suggesting that they should have gotten more. Do you think they intentionally didn't get more? Like I always don't get that conversation. Like, well, the Brewers could offer more. They obviously didn't.
No, and I think that's the part to keep in mind. I think the Dodgers got a good deal. I do not think the Tigers got fleeced. So I thought the Tigers are not bad. That's all for as deep as their system is. That's all you have to give up for Tarek Skubal? Yeah, I'd probably make the move, too.
And the Dodgers are more willing to give up their prospects anyway
because they just pay for their starters.
Yeah, their prospects getting traded is not as impactful as the Brewers or the Royals or any of these other teams trading their prospects.
I'm not kidding. The Dodgers are the single biggest detriment to the players in this future lockout. The Dodgers alone. Because everybody knows baseball is not right financially, and the Dodgers are so glaringly over the top, way taking advantage of the current system. Nobody else is taking advantage of it to this degree. That it makes the whole rest of the sport look stupid. They're going to win their 3rd straight World Series this year, and then they're going to pay Tarek Skubal $750 million to come be a starter, and it's going to look bad across the board. It's not that I think the Tigers got ripped off. Now I'm glad they didn't get way too much, right? I would have preferred they got ripped off. Gold, so would you. You'd be happy to come on and say they got ripped off because the Tigers are in the Royals division, and the more bad teams in this division, the better. The odds of them getting anyone nearly as good as Tarek Skubal, pretty much none. So, in the end, I didn't mind more control, but they were never going to get a player of his caliber in the deal. You know what? You want to know my active working theory is? The Dodgers are doing all this. They're going to pay all these players. They're making all these moves because they want to pay them all now and then have every single contract they have in the books right now grandfathered in case the financial system in Major League Baseball changes. I think they're doing this all as the long game, Gold, because every contract won't count against the new system of order, in my opinion. And you'll get grandfathered clauses in where for the next decade they'll be able to still outspend everybody because they already have Skubal locked up for 10 years and Shohei locked up for 10 years and this guy. That's what I think is happening.
Yeah, I don't think suddenly that if the new CBA has different limitations that they're going to force anybody to have to get rid of and trade or cut anybody. No, you're right, they're going to be grandfathered in. I also just don't blame the Dodgers in this whole thing. They're not the enemy here. I still think, and I said it from maybe 2 years ago on the show, Cody, what is happening, the Dodgers doing, this is the only way there will ever be change. Is if it gets so absurd. I think that was the comment I made, was if it gets so absurd, maybe it'll finally cause change in baseball. I don't blame the Dodgers. They're not breaking any rules. They're operating technically the way any other big market team, let me be clear, big market team could operate. The Royals could not replicate what the Dodgers are doing. Their TV contract is $300 million, okay? So that is different. For those just saying, well, owners need to spend more. Some of them absolutely need to. Boston, Chicago Cubs, for example. New York Yankees got a little cheaper than they used to be.
Sure did. They complain about the big boy spenders.
But comparing what the Dodgers are doing to the Brewers or the Royals, it truly is not feasible. It's not just as simple as John Sherman spending more money. There is no way to replicate that TV contract that is presently there. So the overarching issue is, yes, there are some cheap owners in the sport. Salary cap doesn't happen without a floor. I think you can
I think
be
the owners
okay
are willing
with
to
both.
concede a floor, but they got to bring the floor up.
Absolutely. But this is why we're going to miss games next year. It is. I will be shocked if we don't at least miss a month of the season.
I don't think we're missing the whole year.
I don't
I'm not
either.
that down
a
on
month? Right now, I would. If you asked me to predict, I think we're missing the first month of 2027 at least.
Like, I'm trying to go back through, and if you look at the NFL, the salary cap, they have a salary floor. They just don't announce it, right? It's a $300 million salary cap, but there's an amount of money that if you don't spend, you don't get to carry all that money over. And I guess that's the other part that I would be curious about for these small market teams. Like in football, they have a carryover cap. They're going to allow that in baseball? Can I go over my number? Because then at the very least, in the years in which I compete, the Royals, let's say the salary cap is $250 million. In a year in which you have a chance to win a World Series, go up. Nope, no qualms here. You got all that cash from last year. But baseball owners aren't going to do it like that. In the end, it's weird. If you want a cap and floor, what the Dodgers are doing is actually good for you. It's good for the sport if you want massive change, because they've ruined it. The problem still is the same. And I saw a guy who was on the fan club a couple months ago, Jeffrey Flanagan, talk about it. Baseball is bad financially. It is a broken system financially. It is the most distance from small market to big market in any of the four majors. It's crazy how big it is. And because it's a sport that you can't solve your problems with one good player, you can't even be a cheap ass and fix your issues, Because baseball's not the NFL where you could be a cheap ass every time, Gold, draft the right quarterback and you're good. Or in the NBA, you can be cheap, luck into the number one overall pick and be good, right? You can be the Cavs. You can be a bad franchise with poor ownership. And you can just get the number one overall pick, draft LeBron James, and you're good now. Baseball doesn't work that way. You draft Bobby Witt Jr., you wait 4 years to get him, and he can't fix all your problems. Even if he's great.
Yeah.
So it's a weird sport because of that.
Yeah, I mean, someone on the text line said if the Dodgers win the World Series, there'll be a lockout. The Dodgers don't even have to win the World Series, in my opinion. For there to be a
lockout's
lockout.
happening.
That's happening. Spring training's not going to start. We may not have one. There'll be some sort of ramp-up period at some point. Opening day, you said, Cody's March 26th. There's no way.
It's very early.
There's no way. I just don't think it even matters if the Dodgers win the World Series or not. Someone else says, oh, no, they're going to cancel all the early season games. They get canceled due to cold weather. The Royals did not have any games canceled. They still play them all, so I don't know what we're talking about.
They still play 162 of them. Look, I want baseball to be shortened anyway from 162 game season. From a fan perspective, will I care if there's 140? No, but it's more about if they miss games at all, there is the threat that they will miss the season, and that's when I'm upset, right? When they miss a half a year, a full season. 20 games, in the end, I'll live. But you and I both think that that's just happening. A month of the season, that's probably just happening.
And they will lose fans. The sport will lose fans, absolutely.
They will. It's a bad time to miss games. I said the same thing. I think college football is treading down this very dangerous water, too. But it's you don't want to, why upset your fans when you're in the middle of growth? Baseball, all the signs point to growth, not shrink. And so, I don't understand why you would – I don't know why you do that to yourself. Let's talk a little bit about the Royals' end of the trade deadline. There was obviously the report from Nightingale over the weekend that said Lugo and Waka are getting a ton of interest, but the Royals are essentially hanging up on every call over the course of this time. You want to read the exact
– Yeah, just for the sake of it. Yeah, the exact quote from the Bob Nightingale article was the Royals have received a ton of interest in Waka and Lugo, but Casey has, quote, rebuffed all offers, believing they need them to compete next year. That had everybody talking this weekend. The deadline, we know, is at 5 o'clock. We have for weeks and weeks and weeks discussed the pros and cons of trading somebody like Michael Waka.
So, first off, I don't actually disagree with the premise. The Royals need at least one of the two, if not both, in order for me to have a lot of belief that they will win in 2027. So, holding on to them in that regard makes sense. I will tell you that the Royals have directly refuted this report to me. So they're saying the way that this is phrased is not accurate and that they will listen to offers on them. It would have to be a strong offer. So in a way, not completely.
Are we talking semantics here, though? Like, look, honestly, we'll have JJ on the show tomorrow.
This one looks bad and fans hate it.
Because to me, it seems like more of a semantics argument. If the argument is that we're not trading them away for just peanuts, well, of course, nobody's expecting you to do that. But if the issue with the article is that that they are believing that they need to retain them to compete next year, I think that is true, right? Like, it makes the optics of it. Any report that says they are rebuffing all offers, they believe they need them to compete next year. I believe, if it's true, the Royals, are out there saying that we're not saying no 100% to every single offer. I believe that to be true.
I also don't think they were getting buried with offers until the Scooble thing finished. That was clearly like a dam for the rest of the league.
But I also think there is absolutely truth to the fact that, Cody, if they don't trade Walker and Lugo, A, it does mean that they don't believe they compete without them, and B, that is a massive risk for you, not only because of the potential lockout, but also it makes it very clear in 2027, it's
about winning.
Make or break. Everybody's job is on the line. And the reason why fans are reacting the way they are you not trading somebody because of the best interest of the team or the best interest of some people's job? And that was the conversation among fans this weekend.
I guess so. Like, you and I have had this conversation, but with football, a number of times we talk about bad quarterbacks, where I'm like, just cut the guy, get literally anybody else, and try to win. And you're like, well, but if they lose, they'll get fired. And I'm like, well, but in JJ's case, it's even harder.
Yeah, but that argument is not the same. You just literally,
why not?
It's not the same because what you just said is cut a quarterback, just get anybody else. Nobody is suggesting trade Seth Lugo, Mike Walker, get anybody else. But I'm saying that if they don't have Walker or Lugo on their team next year, I agree. I don't know how they compete in 2027. And for people's jobs, if they don't compete in 2027, they're all gone.
I guess. But that doesn't bother me in the sense that they're risking their own jobs for it.
As a fan, that doesn't tick you off that perhaps people are putting their job security in front of the long-term future of the franchise?
They're not. Well, I guess in this case, I don't know that they're putting their job security in front of the long-term future. And you're saying, I think if they win next year, is that not better for the long term than me hoping they win 3 years from now? Like, I am a little bit tired of we'll win 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years from now. And if you're going to tell me right now the risk
after this year, it's already been 2 years since they've won,
No,
Cody.
I know. But if you're telling me, but I don't want to wait another 3 years. If you're telling me right now that I can guarantee by keeping Walker and Lugo that this is a team that makes the playoffs next year, I'm kind of in. I actually think it's riskier. They're taking a bigger risk with their own jobs by doing it this way than if they just said, well, we need a couple of years to rebuild again and we let these guys go and let's just forgive 2027 too.
Yeah, and I can't answer that without being in the room, and neither can you on the conversations, I guess, with John Sherman. I don't know what their actual job security is and what the mandate is on 2027 versus,
Look,
long
I
term.
think if you don't make this trade, I think it is more than fair to say that the mandate needs and should be you got to win. If you don't win, you've taken your chances, and it is about, we still think with Bobby, because there's the other part of the Bobby Wood Jr. part of it that I do think is important to me, which is I think part of the reason they want to win now is not all about like JJ's job self-preservation and is about the thing that they promised Bobby Wood Jr. they'd win. And so throwing away 3 more years to 2030 when Bobby can opt out, that's a waste of time. But
is it also not a problem that then they're relying on a 36 and 37-year-old pitcher next year?
Deeply concerning. Of course that's concerning. Like I'm not trying to pretend like that's not a concern. Of course it is. But I do think that there's that win now should actually be. What's weird is I actually think win now should be their mode. And so, I run into, and I don't know, we got asked on a Royals question 2 weeks ago, should they trade Walker? And I said, I don't think so. I wouldn't trade him. Maybe I'd trade one of the two. I would be more in the line of Lynch and all this other stuff. Now, I will say, if you're John Sherman and you want to win next year and do this, well, there is one solution that you can always do in baseball, which is cash. Straight cash. So if you want both the long term and the short term, then that's a Sherman question. That takes JJ out of it, in my opinion.
Yeah, but worst case scenario,
if you want to short and long term, it's pay people in the offseason whatever you got to pay to replace the guys you would trade.
Worst case scenario, though, is not just that they fail next year. The worst case scenario is that the season is 75% wiped out or 50% wiped out, and you have 2 aging pitchers that you didn't get anything for, and it's a lost season next year due to the game's not being played.
And then everyone will, like you said, everyone will be fired. Truthfully, if they go through a shortened season, and that's the one thing that I would wonder, I think maybe you and I are factoring more into the trade stuff than a GM is. And maybe that's just because GMs are optimistic at heart in the sense that they have to do their job whether there's going to be a season or not. They can't pretend like part of their job won't exist And so, like, they're stuck in a weird limbo where you're right, where trading a player that only has 1 year left on their deal next year seems easier in our head because we're like, I don't know if they're going to play a full season anyway. So it's like, should you just, like, get it? Now, I will say, maybe the offers stink. I don't know. They got a higher price tag on it right now than someone's willing to pay. That's one thing I feel pretty confident on. I think that they will listen to an offer that is, I don't know if overpay is the right word, but a steep price for a starting pitcher. And that's the difference between, like, it should be at least that of Skubal. Not because they're as good as Skubal, but because you get those guys for the next couple of years. Like, there is an advantage in having a year and a half with a starting pitcher under a controllable number versus getting 3 months of Tarek Skubal and then having to pay him $750 million. All
right, let's go. By the way, we'll get back into this conversation, I'm sure, later on in the show. But let's go to the podium. Andy Reid is speaking after practice today.
All right. As far as the injuries go, the guys that didn't practice today were Cyrus. Ended up being a bone bruise on his shin area there, so it'll be a day or two here. And then Gelati has a hamstring strain. Xavier has a shoulder sprain. Again, it'll be a few days for that, and we'll just see how that goes. Other than that, everybody practiced and did a nice job. It was great atmosphere out here, putting the pads on the first day. Appreciated the effort that they put in. They challenged each other. You continue to do that, then you have a chance to get better. And so we got plenty of room to grow, and so, but you got to have the effort to be able to do that, and I appreciate that. On the Eric Bieniemy side of it, Mia's doing better. She keeps improving by the day, so that's a positive. There's no timetable on EB coming back or any of that, so he just needs to take care of business there, and then when he gets back here, he gets back here. So.
All right, so that was some of what Andy Reid had to say. We'll get back to that in just a bit as we've got Kingsley joining us here in just a second. Obviously, like hearing the positive update there from Andy Reid in regards to Mia, the enemy. But let's welcome in now a 3-year player. We'll get to that in a second as Kingsley's getting his headset on, as we're going to be joined by Kingsley Suamataia here on 96.5 The Fan. Our player interviews presented by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com. Kingsley, great to have you. We talked to you after your rookie year. We've talked to you after last season. I was just telling Cody, my co-host here, I can't believe it's already year 3 for you, man.
I know, it's crazy. Time really flies when you're out here with the boys and grinding. So it's been great.
Do you feel like, okay, you're drafted. Obviously, you switch positions. Do you feel like now you're almost, I feel like flying under the radar a little bit. Like you're just solid. You're locked in there at left guard.
For sure. Just keeping my head down, working. It's been great. It is my 3rd year. It's been a blessing. But, yeah, it's been great with the boys.
I think we talk about it from, like, a media perspective, which is, like, the best offensive linemen are the ones you just don't see at all. Is that how it's coached? Like, if they're not noticing you on the field normally, we view that as a good thing. Oh, I didn't see Kingsley today. That must mean good things.
Man, I just keep my head down, keep working, and it's just grinding out here every day.
It's hot, by the way. Do you, I guess, as like an offensive lineman, do you guys have to prep differently to be out here in, like, the normal practice heat than anyone else?
Nah, everyone's grinding out here. The weather hasn't been too bad. It's been pretty chill the past few days and the past few years that I've been here. So it's been good.
Actual pads on today, though. Like we were just like, now it feels. You're nodding your head. Is this what you like?
Man, this is what we live in. We grind for every day. So it was definitely fun out there banging heads with the defense. But like Drew said, iron sharpens iron when we were in the 9-on-7, so it's been going great.
Who do you enjoy going up against right now? I know I want to ask you about a couple of the new guys, but who did you have a good battle with maybe today?
Chris, obviously. Chris is a future Hall of Famer, so it's a blessing to go against him every day. One of arguably the best D-tackle in the league. And then Peter, man, he's on the rise. He's a twitchy guy, explosive, high motor, so it's been some really good work to go against both of them.
When you look at, I guess, a guy like, how does Peter Wood's strength compare to, like, Chris Jones?
They're right up there, man.
Same?
Yeah, they're strong human beings. Even Kyrus out there, man, you got to really get low to dig them out of the ball. So it's been good.
How long did it take you to get comfortable at guard versus tackle? You spent a lot of time at tackle in your career. How long did it take you to be like, okay, I understand what my job is in this role?
Kind of when I just got thrown in there. My first year when we played the Denver Broncos, week 17 or something, 16, one of those. But, yeah, I kind of just fell in love with it. This is my second year playing guard, so I kind of feel like a rookie at the same time, but not really because It's my third year here, so just being able to fly off the ball and play fast.
What's the biggest difference between that and tackle?
Just it's a lot faster. Everything happens a lot faster. They're right in front of your face. But just being able to see the field, even having with younger tackles out there, so just being able to communicate with them out there.
We're talking to Kingsley Suamataia here on 96.5 The Fan. You mentioned the tackles. We're all keeping an eye on the right tackle. Of course, Jalen Moore out there with first team. You got the undrafted rookie at Indiana, Khalil Benson, getting some reps as well. What have you seen from Benson? He's obviously a new name for Chiefs fans.
For sure, man. He's under the radar guy. He came in and he's working. But it's great having competition. I'm competing for my job each and every day. Trey is, but it's great having competition between everybody out there. So Jalen's out there, Essa's out there, everybody's grinding out there. So it's been going great.
What kind of things do you do in the off season? We try to scour social media for everybody, but where do you spend your time in the off season? What kind of things do you get into?
I was just in Utah. I was just at home, hanging out with my family, with my sisters. And just get my mind right for this big year for me and the team.
I noticed. Did you just go to the car dealership and say, "Give me the biggest possible truck"? I noticed you have a brand new Ford F-350, and it looks amazing. But we were joking. Like, did you just walk in and say, "I need the biggest possible truck"?
No, man, I don't want to get emotional, but like my family, my pops, my moms. They work hard every day, and I'm humbly and blessed to be able to give back to my pops. We've been driving those four wheels until they break. So it was time for them to get a new car. And
that was for them?
Yeah, it was for my dad.
How awesome is that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did he request a certain car, or did you just
That's been my dad's.
You surprise him?
No, that's been my dad's dream car since I was a kid. So it was very humbling and blessed to be able to get him his dream car. So.
Did your mom get one too?
Mom's is on the way.
Okay. What kind of, does she know what she's getting already? I don't want to spoil the surprise.
No, I can't. I got to keep it under wraps.
Okay.
Some's best for my mom. Some's best for my
mom. All right.
Mom.
Very cool. Very cool.
It'll get back to her, won't it?
For sure.
For some reason, we let it out. We'll keep that quiet, at least on the other end. We talked a lot about, especially, I know family's important for you, and we talked about it a lot with Simmons and stuff last year. I guess just how you grew up or that side of it, how much, I guess, does that impact your football playing or going back home or this part? How do you incorporate that into, your career now?
Just keeping the family tight, keeping the circle small. I'm not a big, like you guys said on the social media, not much to find. I'm not really a big social media guy, but just very under the radar. But bringing it into the football aspect, the O-line's very close. Yes, Josh had his things last year, but just keeping each other close, whether we're checking on each other, whether we're going out to eat, whether we're hanging out in the dorms, whatever it is it takes to just keep that bond close so we're all on the same page.
I know George Karlaftis has hosted a dinner for stuff. Do you have the linemen? Does somebody host? Does Creed host? Does somebody host?
We do have an O-line dinner. We didn't have one at a house yet, but we just go out to eat and at whatever restaurant they choose. So
okay, you let them choose. You don't make a suggestion.
I still got no say. I'm still kind of a rook. But
eventually, you'll get that, I guess. What's you mentioned not social media, but is there a TV show, movie? What are you going to see the new Spider-Man at some point?
Who are you listening to?
You get into any of that stuff?
I don't really watch movies and stuff like that. But I would say I'm a big YouTube guy, so I'll be searching up how to build a shower or something, or how to build a what's those things called in the backyard? The tree houses.
Oh, like a tree house?
Yeah, I've been diving deep into just building stuff.
Have you built one?
I have not. I have built a shower in Hawaii before, but
oh wow,
yeah, from the ground up.
So you like to, I guess, keep your handy then?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite YouTuber then?
My favorite YouTuber overall is going to be it's called Ball is Life.
Okay.
They have a series of just one-on-one basketball, and yeah, I've been watching that. So.
I imagine you were a pretty tough basketball player in your day.
I was all right. Baby Shaq. That's good.
on the O-line, though, are you the best basketball player on the O-line? Who's challenging you maybe?
I'll have to say Ethan Driscoll is up there, and Essa Pole, because I was his first sport. So those two are my list for sure.
So Essa can still play.
Oh, for sure.
We've got Kingsley Suamataia joining us here on 96.5 The Fan. I don't know if you've ever gotten to sports cards or not, but we're opening some packs with every player. So our friends over at Artist Sports gave us some top football. So let's get you a pack. Let's see what we got here. We'll see. We have yet to get anything good. We've opened three or four different players so far. Well, at some point, we're supposed to get maybe an auto, but we'll see. So let's see what you got.
Get anything good. So, Coach, do I need to crack it for you at least?
I think I got some color on mine though here, Cody. Okay. So that means we might have got something good on mine. I'll let Kingsley have.
I like that you got an offensive
too.
lineman right away.
Ooh. All right, I'll let you go through both stacks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go through both stacks.
I am not gonna lie to you guys. My stomach is low key cramping. So.
Okay. We'll finish up quick.
I will read this off. Fatanu, Nolan.
You never had this on
Kittle.
the podcast before?
No, we haven't. Kenneth Grant, Tyson Bajan, Quinn Nelson in the green, Cody. Joe Burrow out of 99, Drew. Ooh. Our producer is a Cincinnati fan, unfortunately, so we'll give him a hard time. I think that might be our best card we pulled so far,
I
Cody.
think so. I got an insert Justin Jefferson, but other than that, other than Chris Jones, by the way, I asked this when we look at the cards. Who's the toughest guy you go against on the defensive line? Then we're going to let you out of here. Not on your own team.
Oh, not on my own team that I've gone against?
Yep.
I would have to say Dexter Lawrence. Lawrence for sure. That was a big chin check early on in my career with guard having to block him. So, yeah.
Hey, Kingsley, appreciate it, man. We'll let you go. If you don't mind signing this helmet with your teammates
sure.
Before you head out, but we appreciate it. Kingsley
Suamataia
joining us here on 96.5 The Fan. Our player interviews are presented by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com. Appreciate talking to Kingsley. And, with the helmet we got him signing, of course, is going to benefit the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. And we'll be putting that in our Cody and Gold garage sale coming up this summer. Appreciate it, man. Good to see you. Absolutely. As we continue broadcasting here on 96.5 The Fan. When we come back, let's react to that a little bit. We'll continue to hear from some players, as I believe George Karloftis is at the podium as well. That's coming up here on Cody and Gold.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Man, I should not have tried to handle this car wreck stuff myself.
Why?
Insurance keeps calling. I gotta find a body shop, rental car, doctor's appointments. Now they're asking for a bunch of other things.
Dude, why are you trying to do this yourself?
Call the Car Crash Kings.
That's literally what they do. You worry about getting better. They deal with the insurance, the paperwork, the calls, all of it.
Hurt in a car wreck? Don't do it yourself. Call the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely from advertisements.
You want to work with the best roofing company in Kansas City? Well, Century Roofing is the one for you. Voted best in Johnson County for 5 years in a row. Voted the best roofing company in KC for the 2nd year in a row. I actually just reached out to Century Roofing because I had a tree branch come down and clip the corner of some guttering and roofing. And the first person I called was a guy, Marcus, over there. And he's like, oh, I'll come check and look at it. Or I'll come out when the insurance company comes out and adjust for it and make sure that you're taken care of. That's because they have the expertise you want from a company when you're dealing with roofing stuff. Don't just deal with some fly-by-night, knock on your door, I'll take care of it because it hailed a little bit roofing company. Deal with one that's been in Kansas City for 36 years and has done over 30,000 roofs in the area. Make sure that you get the best roofing company in Kansas City as voted on by people in Kansas City and readers over at the Kansas City Star. And again, 36,000 roofs, sorry, not 30,000. Let me get the right number for you. Go to CenturyRoofingKC.com to learn more. That's CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Hey, baseball fans. Think you know who's going to hit a homer today? Well, FanDuel's giving you a free chance to call your shot with Daily Dingers. Joining in on the action is easy. Just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at even extra winnings. You've got nothing to lose, but you have a lot to gain. And you can make your free pick every day during the MLB season. It's just another way that FanDuel is your home for the home runs. Ready to play your game today? Join in on all the action at FanDuel.com/local. That's FanDuel.com/local to play Daily Dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ready.
Football season is just around the corner, and just like your favorite team, you've got to fuel up to perform. At Break Time, we've got your training camp essentials, ice-cold drinks, protein-packed snacks, and all your game day favorites. Whether you're hitting the field or cheering from the sidelines, teamwork starts with the right fuel. Let's go! One team, one goal! Swing by Break Time, your home team for snacks, drinks, and everything in between. Download our mobile app and find a location near you. We're proud to be Missouri made.
You work hard, you pay your bills, but with credit cards, higher gas and grocery prices, you're making the payments, but not getting ahead. This is James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak Lending. Golden Oak can help you refinance, consolidate bills, and free up monthly cash flow. Call today for a free mortgage checkup. There's never a charge to talk with us.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS 114937. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special both for you and your partner. At Heartland Men's Health, we take great pride in providing excellent care and treatment options for ED. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no two cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
The best time to recommit to your gut health goals? Right now. Take charge of your gut with Nature Made. Our clinically studied ingredients support digestive health. Digestive enzymes break down nutrients. Probiotic and prebiotic fiber nourish good gut bacteria. And super greens with probiotics empower daily digestive health. Try the full lineup of gut health support from Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Spain was trading at 17% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $572 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, value, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win Kansas City Chiefs scratch tickets, plus a chance for the grand prize Chiefs bundle, which includes a framed jersey and a signed photo. All thanks to our friends at the Kansas Lottery. Range Bait with Dusty Likens is now up on the Fan's YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter channels. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, 11 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold as practice wrapped up a couple minutes ago here at Mo West. First full day of pads. Thanks again to Kingsley Suamataia for joining us each and every day after practice. We will have a different player stop by. We're here, our schedule this week. If you're coming up, say hello. We're here today, obviously, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday live in St. Joe, where our training camp coverage is brought to you by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. One thing that stood out real quickly before we get to Andy Reid again is Kingsley, his praise of Peter Woods. You asked him about
I'm very high on
the
Peter
defensive
Woods
line and the strength of the defensive line. Of course, he said Chris Jones first, but then he without being asked about Peter Woods, he brought up Peter Woods.
Mm-hmm. And then the follow-up of what's the strength comparison is about the same. He's like, he's a tough man to push up against. And look, you get real practice with Chris Jones. I know people are down on Chris Jones. Honestly, most of the time I don't know why. You do realize that he ranked like top 3 in pretty much every statistical category for D tackles in the NFL again last year. Again, just across the board. Win rate, double team win rate, like all of it. He wins all of those situations. So for Peter Woods to be even somewhat comparable to that is of note. He's an important player for them. We talk all the time, like, to me, he's the hinge guy. We talk about R. Mason Thomas more than we do Peter Woods, and it should be the other way around. Peter Woods is a more important, as in pressure up the middle. If Chris Jones and Peter Woods are working together, that's when teams are really tough defensively on the defensive line. Not when they got 2 guys on the edge. It is when 2 guys can absolutely wreak havoc up the center, where people have nothing to do. That's what Denver was last year and some other team.
Yeah, it should lead to some more sack opportunities for Karlaftis or R. Mason Thomas. Now, the only thing I'll say, I think R. Mason Thomas, depending on Gelati's hamstring, again, he did not practice today, R. Mason Thomas might still play more snaps than Peter Woods this year. But I get what you're saying, absolutely, in terms of causing
snaps are more impactful,
blowing up a play.
Yeah.
Peter Woods has the ability to do that more so than R. Mason Thomas, just by the nature of the position. Let's go back to the podium. We had to cut out of it while Kingsley, of course, was joining us. But Andy Reid was speaking to the media. He was giving us an update as well on Cyrus Allen and some of the other injuries.
Andy, I know it's not your side of the ball, but Peter Woods, what's been your early impression of Peter since he's come in?
Yeah, I like what I've seen. He's an explosive kid. He's learning. He's smart, and he's learning, trying to hone in some of these techniques we're asking him to do. Like his effort. So he's got a ways to go, but you sure like the tools and the effort and how smart he is. I appreciate that.
And Peter Woods in the pads is going to be, and that's why today was important, that's to me where he shines. It's one thing they're doing the walkthrough stuff, but when you have to try to stop somebody with that strength, and that's why the padded practice was what we were waiting for to see who would stand out, that's when you can actually judge the offensive line and defensive line a little bit more, and Peter Woods was somebody that definitely was noticeable today. All right, let's try that again. Let's go back out there.
How have you seen Josh Simmons improve from last year and this year?
Yeah, he's trying to work on all the small things right now. He's got all the tools, and he knows that. He got his weight up a little bit, and he's got strength, and now it's just a matter of being consistent with assignments and footwork and all that, which is so important on the offensive line. But he's working like crazy to make sure he hones in on all that stuff.
Coach, I know it's early here, but what would be the keys in determining whether it's more or Benson ultimately as you go?
I think you let him compete and just see where it goes. Both of them can play, I think. So we just have a young guy that we haven't seen do much, but he's got some talent. So let's see where that goes, and Moore keeps battling, and he's had a couple good days too. So we'll need all of them. That's how it goes.
With battles like that, especially with the young guy, you're going to see them make mistakes. Is one of your key clues just how quickly they can bounce back from that stuff?
Yeah, so not to make the same mistake twice, right? That's what I'm looking for. We'll give you the chance here to learn, but you start making it consistently, then we got a problem. So, but he's been doing a good job, and there's a hiccup here or there, but he fixes them normally. So.
We saw Rashard Smith coming in right after camp. Just what do you want to see from him in year 2, and why is it important for him to get maybe some increased reps like?
Well, so I know he can run the football. I know he's good with the ball in his hands, catch the ball. Can you do all the small things that a running back has to do with protection The intricacies of the different routes that we have for him. So let's see how we've improved. Protection being the big one.
Two quick things. One, just to clarify on Xavier, do you see him as day-to-day also?
Day-to-day, we'll just see where it goes. Okay. Yeah.
And also with Patrick today, first day in pads, it's some sort of less encumbering device, it looked like.
Yeah, he's got a brace on, but he's going to keep the brace on throughout. And
was the full brace though, or was it a little?
You know, I don't know. It was a brace.
You're not looking at that?
I'm not looking at the brace. I'm not looking at the brace.
Then we saw Mansour running in and out of the huddle, but not wearing pads today. How do you guys kind of balance getting him ready to play, but obviously getting him healthy?
Yeah, so he's a tough nut. You know, a lot of guys probably wouldn't go out there and play with what he's got, but he wants to be out there. He wants to learn. That's what he wants to do. So, but contact, we got to keep him out of contact. And right now that's important until that thing heals up. Footwork and all that is great. Go do all that, no problem. But we got to just wait until it's healed up.
Last one, Nate.
Andy, it seems to me that you guys have put more of an emphasis on working under center. Just what's going into that, and what are you trying to see about the offense in that sort of aspect?
Yeah, we've always mixed it. I think that's a healthy thing, you know. So, I mean, there's no reason why or what, but other than we have some good stuff out of that, and we want to try to use it.
Does that just lead to more, I guess, reps?
Nate, you want to know if it has some more runs and play action and naked? Well, no, I mean, listen, we're going to mix. We're going to mix. So that's what we're going to do. We're not going to change that part. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, so that's Andy Reid. At the end, he was asked from Nate Taylor, who will join us after practice today. He was asked about just going under center more. As we mentioned on Friday's show, they are very clearly emphasizing under center snaps. What does that actually mean come regular season time remains to be seen, but it is definitely a noticeable difference from training camp this year and from really Chiefs football over the last year or two so far at camp.
He can say we always mixed it up.
No,
fine.
not as much.
Like,
not
did you run some under center snaps at training camp? Yeah. Did you run it as much as you are actively running it? No. You don't have to, like, part of this is like Andy sometimes says stuff not because he thinks we're stupid, but because he likes to try to, like, I think he likes to try to get away with it. He's like, what are you talking about? That guy's been there the whole time. I'm like, no, he hasn't. I do have eyes. I've been around. So, like, that part of it is different this year, and that they are trying to go more under center, and that matters. Now, you and I have said this before, and this is where DeMercado has a big advantage. The only thing Andy even emphasized caring a little about anything the running backs do, that includes Bouchard Smith, Emmett Johnson, and DeMercado, is, can you block?
Yeah, gotta
essentially what he's like is, can you block? I might not get you the ball. Can you not screw this up if you're on the football field? That's all I care about. You might not touch it. I got to make sure when you touch it, most running backs are pretty good, I think is Andy's opinion. But his opinion is you can get on the field if you don't get our quarterback hurt.
Yeah, Emmett Johnson, if he wants to get on the field his rookie year, we can talk all we want about, his vision, which is great, by the way.
Yeah.
But he has to be able to pick up blitzes and has to be able to protect Patrick Mahomes when called upon and not miss assignments and have his quarterback get blindsided coming off of an ACL injury or something like that. That'll be crucial for him. Yeah, and you're right. That applies to DeMercado. It's why I still think DeMercado has the inside track on the number 2 job right now. Maybe as the season progresses, as camp progresses, that changes. I would just say that. The other thing, most importantly, from Andy earlier in that clip was about Worthy. Sprained shoulder is the official word. Expect Worthy and Cyrus Allen to return to practice later this week. Neither practice today. We all know Saturday, the big scare. It looked like, we feared the worst on the Cyrus Allen thing.
Of course we did.
Xavier Worthy, knowing the shoulder history, you feared the worst there. Still don't like hearing sprained shoulder from Worthy, knowing that. We just had him on the show last Tuesday or whatever.
Said he's never felt better.
Yeah.
He said since high school, essentially, is what he said.
I know. Now, you asked him, does he feel 100% or whatever? He's like, well, I had surgery, so I don't feel 100%. But he still said it's the best he's been. So hopefully it's just a minor scare, but it does continue to bring the question of, is somebody of his size, are you going to continue to get kind of nicked up? Yeah. He didn't miss really any time last year, but he's got to be effective. He's got to be effective. It clearly limited him when he was on the field, which was still plenty of the time. But if you're wondering the injury stuff, that's really the only update. And then Ashton Gelati, hamstring injury. That's from last Friday, and that's why he did not practice. But he was out on the practice field today.
I saw you at the concert last night. How'd that go?
So I was not planning on going. Mumford & Sons. In fact, Nathan on Friday when he was filling in told us he was going to the concert.
Yeah.
If you're like, hey, you didn't say you were going, because I wasn't on Friday. I wasn't planning on going. It all happened quick. First say, Mumford & Sons, unbelievable show last night.
Good show? Nice.
And Mort Amphitheater, if you haven't been, the venue is amazing. I know we all have nostalgia with Sandstone. I don't know how anybody's ever going to Sandstone again. I mean, this venue is insane. The
Much
acoustics, of course, it's new, so everything's updated. Unbelievable. But on Saturday night, I was with some friends. 2 of the friends were already going to the concert. And my other buddy was like, yeah, I kind of want to go, but I'm not sure. So I hop on StubHub. I'm like, okay, lawn seats are like $75. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to go. I know, like, Mumford & Sons, I'm not like the diehard fan. I know like 4 songs, okay?
You know the regular ones.
The hits. Yeah, I know like 4 songs, okay?
I'll say a lot of their songs sound very similar.
Very similar style.
So you're probably,
but like
the 4
I think,
songs you know might be 2.
I think most people know like I will wait. Like that's a very popular song. Okay, anyway, so about an hour later on Saturday night, I pop back on StubHub. And I look, Cody, and it says, the seat map, and under suites, it says $75.
So you're like,
I'm like,
okay,
whoa, $75 for a suite. So I quickly go and buy up 4 tickets. I'm like, I'll take the risk. Worst comes to worst, I don't get the tickets. Because I've done that before where the person never sends you the tickets. Well, 2 hours later, I get suite tickets through StubHub for $75 a piece. Great deal. So we go out there last night, and we're thinking where the seats chart had us in a suite like in the middle, like right dead center, but further up, which would have been amazing. We get there, and they're like, no, you're way down here. They keep walking us down. We're past the pit. Like,
so you're like on the stage.
Basically on the stage, but we're way to the right. So, like, there's a little bit of obstructed view, but I didn't care. Long story short, everybody else in the same suite all bought the tickets for $75 as well. So I'm like, 2 nights ago, I thought, did somebody mess up and list them for $75? No, what happened is the venue, Morden, I guess they had only opened up that suite for 3 shows so far because of how far to the right and down it is.
The obstructed part of the view, okay.
And so they were selling them cheap, but, like, I guess if anybody goes, I guess check to see if that ever happens again. And we ended up getting pit passes as well because somebody else in the suite, not us, but somebody else complained and said, hey, it said we were supposed to be in the middle, which is true. That's what the seating chart said.
Sure.
So they gave us all pit passes as well. So we just went back and forth from the pit to the suite area, which had like a fridge and stuff and a waiter. It was one of the coolest concert experiences I've had.
$75, not bad.
Yeah, it was an absolute steal. I had a great time last night. I only knew 3 or 4 of the songs.
That doesn't matter. With music, in my experience, you have to know every song they're doing in order to enjoy a concert, I don't think. I could be wrong on that, but, typically I think it's enjoyable.
It was a ton of fun. We had a good time. I can't say enough about the venue, though. Like, it's the second show I've seen there.
I don't have tickets anything there until September.
You said you're going to who?
Billy Idol at the moment.
Okay.
Those are the tickets.
You and the wife?
But I haven't gone to, it's just, I love going to concerts, but kids and young kids and all that stuff, it's kind of a nightmare. So I haven't, because concerts sometimes just like on a Tuesday night, got school the next day and all this, and my kids don't stay out till like midnight. And my in-laws who might watch them in the evening, it's like they just want to keep them overnight. So it's just it's a headache. So I don't do it as much as I want, but I'll be out there in September for the first show.
Yeah, this was just a spur of the moment thing. I'm glad I went. We had a good time.
Yeah, it ended up working out great, it sounds like. Well, I don't know. I think maybe Nate Taylor's going to join us post-practice. He typically has been.
I'm sure.
But also I think some of the media is gone, so we'll see. But if not, at least in the time being, Drew, let's get to the trash of the day.
Trash of the day.
This is called timing, Cody. This trash of the day, last week maybe would have been perfect timing. This is still very good timing.
Okay.
And if you listened at all last week, you know probably where this story is trending. This is a real story from July 30th, so it's from last week. It takes us to China. The headline reads, controversial feet juice drinking trend spreads
I don't like that
to China.
sentence.
We talked way too much about feet last week because of JT's weird sock shoe on with sex thing. But there's a convention that has feet juice, and it's become a drinking trend. It spread to Asia. It started in San Jose at a cosplay convention. And and basically for $7.50 per plastic cup, it is lemon-flavored foot bath water and cola foot bath water sold by a number of female cosplayers
that is
outside
a kink we should be shaming.
That is gross. Have you seen the photo? These people literally, their feet are in this juice, and they're literally scooping out the juice from, and their feet are in the juice.
No. Nope.
We try not to kink shame on the show. Oh, and here's Nate Taylor walking up. But genuinely.
Ask Nate about this.
That is
we're going to have to,
offensive.
because of the timing, we're going to have to break before Nate joins us. But yeah, that I will ask him about that, and then we'll get a break in.
We can take a break now.
Yeah, that's the trash.
I feel sick.
All right, that's the trash of the day. Cody's going to go throw up, and then we'll be joined by Nate Taylor to talk some football next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more.
I
all
can't hear
with
you, but you got
discretion
3
and
seconds. I don't know what the deal
Make
is.
your appointment
3
at
seconds.
heartlandmenshealth.com.
Is anyone paying attention to rural Kansas? Everything costs way too much, and the politicians in Topeka keep siding with big tech and give a thumbs up to these massive data centers. We need someone who will fight for our farmers and ranchers and all the working people of Kansas. Vicki Schmidt is running for governor. She's the insurance commissioner who is laser focused on lowering costs and taking a stand against these out-of-state tech companies. Vicki's running mate is Joe Newland. He's the former Kansas Farm Bureau president who has spent his career farming himself and advocating for our rural communities. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland will fight tirelessly to protect our land, water, and way of life. That's why the Kansas Farm Bureau has endorsed Vicki and Joe. Finally, someone who has our back. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland for governor and lieutenant governor. Defend US PAC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Dustin McIntyre, Treasurer. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. DefendUSPAC.us.
When your plumbing systems need help, AB May is here to help your house feel like a home again. Serving Kansas City for over 65 years, AB May handles sump pumps, water heater installs, drain clearing, sewer line repairs, and much more. When it comes to your home, solved is our standard. And AB May is committed to doing things the right way every time. Trusted by generations. Call AB May at 913-383-2222 or visit abmay.com today.
Call your servicemen from AB May.
Baseball fans, the MLB season is in full swing, and FanDuel's giving you a chance to call your shot with daily dingers. Joining the action's easy. All you have to do is make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. It's just another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. So if you're ready to play your game, head over to FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local to opt in for daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of the MLB and 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help. And help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane, third-generation owner at Shane Company. As a family jeweler for almost 100 years, we're known for doing right by our customers. Our legacy of integrity depends on it. We stand behind our engagement rings with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds, then negotiate for the best price. At Shane Company, we put you first because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
The best time to recommit to your gut health goals? Right now. Take charge of your gut with Nature Made. Our clinically studied ingredients support digestive health. Digestive enzymes break down nutrients. Probiotic and prebiotic fiber nourish good gut bacteria. And super greens with probiotics empower daily digestive health. Try the full lineup of gut health support from Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Chiefs coverage is brought to you by Peter's Clothiers. The last 3 days of our summer sale are here. Save from 30 to 50% on suits, sports coats, and sportswear at Peter's Clothiers. Find the look you want at the price you'll love. Visit Peter's Clothiers at 124th and State Line. Sale ends soon.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Josh Simmons from the Kansas City Chiefs, and welcome into the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day at 11:30 on Cody and Gold on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
That's right. We are broadcasting live from St. Joe. Thank you, Josh Simmons. Our training camp coverage presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Our guy Nate Taylor has stopped by from ESPN. He joins us each and every day after practice here in St. Joe. I guess I'll save the trash of the day question for the very end so we don't ruin the entire conversation about that. But let's just start with the story of the day. Is that fair to say? Which would be the continued play of Khalil Benson at right tackle and what Andy had to say. Where do you want to start? Do you think is that interesting enough for you today? Or are we going to buy in? Or are you and I on the same page still where it's, all right, first day of padded practice, once again, wake me up if it's Friday and he's still the first guy out there?
Thank you. Yes,
okay.
We're on the same page. He is not the headline today in my eyes. Okay. Although it'll be interesting to see what he does going from day 1 in pads to day 2 in pads. That's for the coaching staff to really evaluate how quickly does he improve to the tempo and the pace and the physicality of going up against George Karlaftis or R. Mason Thomas or Felix Anudike-Uzomah. So day 2, tomorrow, I think is more of an important day for Khalil Benson than today. Today just established the fact that, okay, we're going to give you a real run between now and the preseason to see how much you can polish and correct your tools to showcase who you are potentially in that first preseason game.
What about the left side of the line? We know Josh Simmons, of course, is the left tackle, but how do you think he looks? I know in OTAs the big story was about his weight and how he looks ripped for a left tackle. Can you tell as he put on some weight?
He has, and it seems to be the corrective weight. And, my buddy Mitchell Schwartz said that of the one-on-ones from his eyes, he could only see Josh really losing 1 rep because he maybe took on a little bit more of the bull rush from George Karlaftis than you would want in that situation on a one-on-one rep. Outside of that, he told Felix why you trying. I mean, he told R. Mason Thomas, this is the NFL, my friend. Like, it's still going to take a while. So the only guy that can really, I think, frustrate or give him proper work is George Karlaftis and or Chris Jones if they want that to be, hey, every now and then you might see some freak who's 6'6" and can play that well going from the inside to the outside. But from the comments you hear from Andy Reid, we got some quotes from Trey Smith today, obviously George Karlaftis, they all love the professionalism that Josh Simmons has brought to what is already a dynamic skill set. He has the potential already in year 2, if everything goes right, for him to be an all-pro. And I know that might sound a little bit hyperbole, but he's capable of being that good if he gets 17 weeks to really demonstrate just how well he can be now that he's further away from the rehab and he actually knows what he needs to work on to get prepared for an NFL season.
We talked. You mentioned George Karlaftis. He spoke at the podium. We'll hear from it later.
Mm-hmm.
I know he had given some praise to Felix Anudike-Uzomah. Is that just backing up your boy? Is there because there are reps to be had?
Yes.
If Felix can win any portion of a rotation. So what I'm asking is, does Felix have a chance to better chance he gets cut, or gets reps this year?
He's got to be a factor for this defensive line, and so I think as the veteran of that position, George Karlaftis is doing a couple things with that quote. He is acknowledging that, hey, you missed all of last season, so we watched you in the locker room. We want to know how you're going to act after taking the whole year off, getting your hamstring right. We want to see what's your work ethic going to be in the offseason program. From George Karlaftis' perspective, he's done that pretty well.
Okay.
He's gotten first-team reps because Ashton Gelati is dealing with his own hamstring injury right now, and he doesn't look like a player who's a fish out of water, right? He doesn't look overwhelmed by things. Now, he's still a more power player. He's not going to maybe give you the juice that you were hoping for from a first-round pick that you thought was going to –
that's gone. I don't need that. I'm just talking about contributing.
That you thought was going to develop from year 1 to, say, year 3. Now he has to be a contributor. I think he has the tools to do it. It's just a matter of, okay, now it's time to showcase it to where your veteran says, hey, I like the way you're doing it. I can see that you're working hard. I can see that you've learned from past experiences. Now it's time for you to demonstrate that. Again, it's the first day of pads. It's a small sample size. He was not a negative today. It's just, hey, we can now see the difference in padded form between you and, Josh Simmons. He was able to, I think, provide some educational reps for Khalil Benson, the undrafted right tackle from Indiana, when they had a couple reps. So there's room to be had, but they need a lot from Ashton Gelati and they need a lot from Felix. And if those two guys can be serviceable rotational contributors, then that is a success, and that's more than what you had from either one of them a year ago.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't need either to be a star. I just need someone to help. That's
correct. Yeah, you need somebody who is not going to be a clear weakness that the offense can not only identify but can pick on and attack consistently when they're on the field, to where that's why there's such an issue of the give and take. Well, we would love George Karlaftis to be on the field all the time, but that's not good for his actual health. That's not good for him being the best version of himself. That's partly why he had the thumb injury, because he's playing too many snaps because you couldn't count on Mike Danley. You couldn't count on Charles Omenihu the way you anticipated when the season began. So if you can get better production and just overall hunger, because this is a contract year for Felix and this is going from year 1 to year 2 with Ashton Gelati, okay, we can be comfortable with George Karlaftis being on the field 70% of the time. He doesn't have to be on the field 85% of the time. And by being on the field 85% of the time, you have to deal with endurance. You have to deal with, the physical nature of it all, and your tolerance for risk injury goes higher.
We're talking to Nate Taylor from ESPN live up here in St. Joe. Another day of practice. First padded practice, though, of Camp 2026. We know on Saturday the scare with Cyrus Allen ends up being a bone bruise, thank goodness. Xavier Worthy, sprained shoulder. Let's start there, because I was telling Cody, it was interesting the reaction Saturday, because on Friday we had you on the show, right? We're all pumped up. We're talking about Cyrus Allen and what maybe the future could be for him. The injury happens. Worthy also gets hurt, but I feel like fans, because of all the social media love, were way more concerned about Cyrus Allen being hurt than Xavier Worthy. Now, I get it. Anytime you see someone on a cart, front or back, people get more concerned. But Xavier Worthy is way more important still. Can we be clear before we get to the hype? Way more important for this team. How concerning is it, though, that a guy that had the shoulder surgery already has some sort of, again, sprain on the same. Is it the same shoulder?
It is the same shoulder.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
See,
I was just about to tell you, it's the same shoulder. It's his right shoulder, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't remember, he was coming across the middle on a drag route, a little bit of a pick play. It's Travis's left shoulder. It's his right shoulder. They bump shoulders. We know who's the bigger player. That's why, unfortunately, Xavier Worthy's entire second season was compromised in essence.
Yeah.
Now, he had shown pretty good flashes, and that was a highlight catch he had a couple days ago on a deep route with Patrick Mahomes that shows, hey, they are building something. But he lands on his right shoulder. He rolls over it. He's not in pads. And then you realize, okay, let's start the clock. Let's start the countdown. We are still 5.5 weeks away, ladies and gentlemen, from September 14th. So it's not a major concern. The problem is, when is he going to be in a padded practice? And based on what Andy Reid tells us today, which is he's day-to-day, we're just going to take it. We're going to monitor
in a couple days, hopefully.
That informs me that they're going to have pads tomorrow. We're going to have pads Wednesday. The first question is Xavier Worthy out there on Thursday?
And is he in yellow?
When they are not expected to be in pads. And to your point, is he in yellow? So give it a week.
I guess my bigger thing is not even for start of the season or this or practice. I think it is very fair at this point to say, can you play NFL football for 17 NFL games? Not can you play through an injury? Can you be healthy-ish? As healthy as NFL players are healthy. I understand nobody just runs through the season at 100%, but his whole season was compromised last year, and he's already dinged up.
And so for the old-school nature that is the Chiefs' philosophy when it comes to the coaching staff, right? Andy Reid is extremely old school. He's going to have to make significant compromises based on this roster construction and the circumstances of his players that he has to rely on from a skill position standpoint. You know that Travis Kelce ain't going to be out there.
No.
If Pat ain't out there. So
this is why Cyrus has a chance to get a real look.
Correct. So if Patrick Mahomes is not going to play in the preseason, you really can't put Travis Kelce out there. You can't put Xavier Worthy out there.
No.
And that's against everything that he believes to be the case about getting ready for the season, because Andy has always told me, Nate, the only way to get better at football is to play football. That's why we play the guys in the preseason. That's why we give them a series or maybe a quarter in the second game before we obviously pull everybody out and start game planning for the first opponent during that third preseason week. Well, this year he's going to have to say, look, Rashee Rice, as to my eyes today, only ran one rep in 7-on-7. One. Now, he was in pads.
For the whole practice.
Didn't do anything with the team, 11-on-11. And to my eyes, I only saw him out there one time towards the end of the 7-on-7 period. So you're looking at your starting quarterback. Do you risk Kenneth Walker? I guess, but you could say at least from the offensive line perspective, he needs to be out there. So as of right now, guys, if it was up to me based on my education and understanding of what the team wants, you're probably not going to put Patrick Mahomes out there for the preseason.
Nope.
That means you got to do the same for Xavier Worthy, for Rashee Rice, for Travis Kelce, and you just hope, hey, our game plan is going to be so good on opening night against a divisional opponent that it'll work out, but that's not the way he wants to get this team ready for the season. And so Xavier Worthy going down this early in the camp makes me wonder, okay, if it's day-to-day and it's the same shoulder, well, you have to be precautious to at least get him as physically right as possible for opening night, which means the preseason might be out of the way for a lot of these guys that are supposed to be your offense when the season starts.
Can I add a guy to the defense? Because I got to say, Gold. And then I think there's a 50% chance we don't see Monsorter laying out of the yellow in training camp. Because I don't like the way they're talking about it, which is to say nothing.
The medical, well, no, let me tell
Vague.
you. Let me tell you this. The medical staff's got some concerns. And so
I don't think he's playing. I don't think he's getting out of the yellow jersey before preseason game number 1. If he is in a regular Chiefs jersey, I think it'll be after preseason game 1, whatever that, the 17, 18, 19, whatever the final 3 days were here.
Yeah, you're thinking the 18th, 19th, and 20th would be your guess. Those are the 3 days.
I think it's the earliest.
I
could be wrong.
After the first preseason game. And then look, if the medical staff has concerns and they want that thing to be fully healed, you have to hold him out. And so, again, for Steve Spagnuolo, this is our top draft pick. This is the guy I need to get ready for, I don't know, Jerry Jeudy, or not Jerry Jeudy, excuse me.
Waddle, yeah.
Waddle, excuse me.
Waddle and Sutton.
And Sutton.
Game one.
And
I got to remember who else.
They
got some tough wide receivers, but I think some of them are later.
Yeah, and so you just have to be mindful of the fact that, like, if the medical staff has concerns, it's just going to have to be different this year. These guys are going to have to not have as many reps before the season starter that you would want. So I can't anticipate right now when he would have that yellow jersey taken off. But the fact they didn't put him in pass today is for protection. It's for protecting of him and that shoulder, which I believe is the right shoulder. I will try to get clarification on that.
Yeah.
We never saw when it happened because that was an OTA practice that was closed to reporters, and then we saw him for the start of mandatory minicamp, and we just didn't see him with his teammates practicing. So I think it's the right shoulder. I'm not totally sure about that. I'll try to work on that to get some clarity on it, but I believe it's the right shoulder, and if they want to protect him, I don't know when the yellow jersey is coming off, and that's the best I can do right now, given that the medical staff wants to take it very, very careful with him.
What about the running backs? We asked you about Kenneth Walker last week. He just looks different than what they've had, of course, and his ability to make cuts and certainly his vision. Andy was talking about, I think you maybe asked him actually
I did, yeah.
About Brashard Smith and him being in there right after Kenneth Walker. Is there something there with Smith, or are they still wanting another look? We know last year he was a guy that everybody thought should have got more playing time. He didn't.
Yep.
Now it seems like nobody's really talking about him. Does he have any sort of chance of making this team other than the practice squad?
So you're looking for anomalies on day one in the pads because this is as serious as it can get, right? George Karlaftis said that to us, and I wholeheartedly agree. So there's a little bit of like, okay, there's some legitimacy to this because I was interested as to who the first running back was going to come on the field when Kenneth Walker was, hey, here's 5 reps and take a breather. Well, that player today was Brashard Smith. And to your point, Alex, is that because, hey, he's year 2 in the system, and so we want to see what he looks like right now from year 1 to year 2? Is it because we already know what we kind of have in our minds about DeMarcado? DeMarcado is making the roster. Like, you signed him to be a viable third down back, someone who can pass protect alongside Kenneth Walker. Okay, well, this is a running period. Okay, we're getting under center. We didn't do that a lot with Brashard Smith last year. Is that a way to, like, hey, let's just evaluate this? That would be my guess, but it is something to say, hey, they didn't put Emmett Johnson out there first because he's the young rookie who you want to see. It said, hey, put Brashard Smith in, then DeMarcado, then Emmett Johnson. So, ladies, that's the depth chart right now.
Yeah. When's the
in
meeting
pads,
come out?
in the past, for what we can glean from this, I thought it was going to be maybe, based on what we saw in the non-padded portion of practice, okay, we're going to see Kenneth Walker, we're going to see Emmett Johnson, then it's DeMarcado, then it's Brashard Smith. They flipped it today and had Brashard Smith taking second reps with the first team. So how long does that last? Or is that just to say, hey, let's give a closer look to Brashard Smith before we make decisions on where the position is going to go between now and that first preseason game?
When you look at, I guess, offensively, you and I, maybe first practice, we were already talking about the three of us, how they were more under center. Everyone can see that. That's uncommon. Andy's being like, we're under center sometimes. And not to say that they aren't.
Right.
It's not that to say they never took any snaps, but you had pointed out in there and you'd asked them about play action. That would be a decided difference from how they've done it. Although it seems to me that the best offenses in the NFL right now love play action.
Correct.
But Patrick Mahomes has never been a good under center quarterback over the last 2 years. He's worse under center
because they weren't emphasizing it the way they're emphasizing
and so, like,
it now.
I guess that's my question: is how quickly Mahomes is so good? What, I think he can't throw the ball under center, or is he just not comfortable throwing the ball under center because they're trying to add it in week 12 when things are already too deep?
Right.
I think it's pretty clear they're going to look different offensively from a scheme perspective, at least some.
Yes.
I'm not saying the RPO is dead, but it's dying.
I think we saw 2 RPO reps today. Think about that.
In a padded practice.
In a padded practice, the first practice, where you're saying, okay, these are the first things we want to get at before we start building the rest of the offense on our side of the ball. Now, I looked this up, okay? Last season, most of the Chiefs snaps with Mahomes were with him in the shotgun, using that element in 80.6% of their formations, excluding quarterback kneel downs. That was the third most in the NFL last year. 80% of the time, he was in shotgun last year. And that is not the case right now. When I chart my own reps of what they're doing, so much of it is under center, and I'll give you the extra sauce, fellas.
That's what I like to hear.
Condensed splits.
Oh, really?
Condensed splits, 2 tight ends, 2x2 receivers.
Keeping them in the pocket.
Shrinking everything so that you can start to mirror how the run game attaches to the play action game and how you can build off of that. That is what I've seen so far through this training camp that is vastly different. It's not the 3x1s, move this guy motion over all the time with an RPO look to it, because those 3 receivers, who knows? Maybe that's a bubble screen. Maybe that's a sail concept with 3 layers of receivers down the field. And so there's a little bit of a mix and match in that aspect. Now we're seeing them get under center with Kenneth Walker, and we're showing the defense the ball. I'm turning my back to the defense. I'm showing you the ball. And hopefully, for the Denver Broncos' sake, that's a legitimate threat. Me showing that I can give the ball to –
has to be, doesn't it?
Exactly. Me showing you that I can give the ball to Kenneth Walker now means I can pull it, and now maybe that corner route for Travis Kelce opens up a little bit more behind your zone coverage, because the linebackers have to respect Kenneth Walker, and they're in a more condensed space because we're setting from a formation standpoint 2x2 condensed splits, which is what? Very kind of Sean McVay-ish.
We got 5 weeks to go. This is probably more of a game week conversation, but what do you think the Broncos are going to say? Well, prove it to us that you're actually going to run the football.
Yes.
This is something that may not benefit them until week 4 or something, right?
And who knows when Eric?
But if that works, it might work. Ken Walker might be successful.
Who knows? Who knows if Eric Bieniemy? Who knows when he's coming back? But until we know he's coming back, it's up to Joe Blademeyer to get in that man's ear every freaking day and say, we got to make the Denver Broncos respect Kenneth Walker today. I don't know what it's going to look like with Xavier Worthy. Coach, I think we'll have Rashee Rice. Obviously, we know we can rely on Travis Kelce. But we got to run the ball, establish ourselves, put less of a burden on the quarterback, make them have to get to third down, make them earn it. And as we've seen from a depth chart standpoint, Denver Broncos a little thin up front, boys. It's Nick Bonito and a couple guys.
It's not as good as it was.
Not as good as it was last year. So, hey, can we make them earn it to stop us? And we can still have Patrick Mahomes roll out, and he'll still have 2-3 couple options, or we'll just tell him, throw it away. Don't take on any necessary hits that you have to. But also, man, Coach, he had a cut. If I was Joe Blademeyer, I'm running up to the hill, getting on an iPad and say, look at this. Hey, man, he had a cutback today. They were stretching it to the left. He said it ain't there. Cut it back to the right. Whoo! Coach, stretch, duo, draw, power. Put it on him, and let that guy see how it develops, and he cuts back. And that's what made him so good against the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl last year, is his ability to say, either I'm going to bounce it to the outside because I'm faster than you to get to that angle, or I'm making the stop before you can ever anticipate it, and I have the speed and the burst to still get additional yards going in the other direction.
Can I say the one part about the offense that scheme doesn't fix is who in the wide receiver core is the man beater? Does that mean, who beats one-on-one coverage? That was a thing that wasn't fixable.
Based on the math, that player's Cyrus Allen.
Uh-oh. Well, then they'll like throwing to him.
Well, hey, Christian Roland Wallace, he's running across her. He caught the ball.
And he's been okay.
Exactly. Hey, Noah Williams, we're going back shoulder phase to Cyrus Allen. That's man coverage.
Yeah, it is.
Now, again, those weren't his pads.
Terrible.
Didn't CRW have a pick today?
He did have a pick today.
Although I still think
he wasn't throwing to Cyrus Allen.
Taekwon. And I think Taekwon stopped.
Yeah,
and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I watched that play live. Taekwon stopped. He just stopped moving.
Taekwon.
Back me up.
No, that's why.
Rep.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know this is not a visual medium. I did shake my head when Cody said that because I agree with him. And Taekwon Thornton said, what's today? August 3rd.
Yeah.
It's an August 3rd rep.
They got Armstrong running there as a number 2 receiver today or whatever, essentially. Because
he might make the team.
Well, he's getting every opportunity.
Exactly.
Could he be their sixth receiver, you know?
He could.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. It's just day one in pads. I've been down on you all week, son. Hell, I've been down on you 2 weeks. Jalen, when those lights come on against the Los Angeles Rams, you are playing for your life here. You are playing for your, look, man, we gave you a new receiver coach, quarterback, balling his you-know-what off. We know we got Nico Remigio.
Not a deep room.
I can't count on you in special teams. Hey, man, have you seen Cyrus Allen? What is he doing that you're not doing? You might want to figure that out. And also, this Armstrong kid, he's starting to have some nice chemistry with Mahomes.
Yeah.
Where are you at? Where are your highlight clips? I see him catch one pass a day. You run it. Ladies and gentlemen.
There's no wide receiver.
Let me tell you this today, ladies and gentlemen. On the first padded practice, he had Tyquan Thornton. He had Armstrong. He had no Cyrus Allen, no Xavier Worthy. He had a little bit of reps with Travis Kelce.
He barely had Rice.
He didn't even have Rice today. He had Rice in 707. Where you at, son? Where you at? Wake up. Wake up, young man. Because if Cyrus Allen's available, I'm picking him against the Denver Broncos. If it's between you and Nico Remigio in terms of dressing, pick Nico Remigio.
I know he'll do the special team stuff.
Yeah. And are you good at blocking? I guess we'll find that out. What's your best route? I don't know what it is. Maybe his best route might be over the middle, sort of reading the zone coverage, but that's what Rashee Rice does.
That's also what Travis Kelce does.
So what are we
that
doing?
job's full.
So can you beat somebody downfield? I saw Cyrus Allen beat Mansour Delane downfield, and Mansour Delane ain't got no issues with his legs.
No, but he's getting beat downfield a lot, and I still think it's because he's just not
right.
But
still,
yeah,
that's on tape. Where you at on tape, baby? I just
Royals getting kicked off the island quick.
Royals is not on
tomorrow's Camp Darling Island. He's in danger.
It's probably Xavier Lloyd, but it might be
Xavier Lloyd hasn't done anything yet, so he's probably
made about as much noise as Jalen Royals.
That's fair.
But Jalen Royals is not on my 53 right now.
Yeah.
It's just not. I'd much rather take Armstrong. Hey, you know what? We take darts. We throw them at the ball. Sometimes we get it wrong. I don't know what happened. But maybe we're starting to realize why Matt Nagy was like, I don't know.
I pointed out the whole time he couldn't get on the field.
Could not get on the field.
At any point last year.
With Juju Smith-Schuster on his last legs being like, dog, they know when I'm out here. They know what I got.
They know what I'm doing here.
They know what I'm doing.
We're that one big game, didn't
we're
he?
too predictable.
It's the Saints.
I think, right?
Yeah,
or no?
Yeah, that was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster is a professional receiver. Don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen, but he fits a specific role right now in his career.
Yeah.
And that was problematic for the Chiefs because they had no running game, which means every time he was on the field, I can tell you the 3 plays or the 3 concepts that they were most notably going to with Juju on this field.
They were predictable as hell last year.
So, can you do what Juju was doing?
No.
He's not on my 53.
We don't have to keep seeing, look, guys don't have it. He doesn't have it.
Look, go. Tell me when the first preseason game is. When was the first preseason
11?
game?
No, 13 days? Is it 16th, 15th, 16th?
Come on.
Like that?
Come on, Jalen. This is for you, man. I'm not even
August 15th.
I'm not even trying to criticize you to be mean-spirited about it. But, brother, you have until August 15th to make a difference.
Save your job.
To demonstrate that you deserve more reps. Because the only reason why you're getting reps right now is because you were a draft pick and ain't nobody else running reps right now. So I want to see it, but I ain't seen it, guys. So as of August 3rd, we have to move on, and that's unfortunate.
Nate Taylor from ESPN. He joins us each and every day after practice here in St. Joe. Always appreciate it, Nate. Our training camp coverage presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Up next, we'll get to what's trending. We'll update you on the MLB trade deadline, and we got some camp questions from Drew right here on 96.5 The Fan.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Let's be honest, you've heard Cody and I talk about Centric for years, and maybe you've thought about making a change, starting that new career, or finding something with more opportunity. So what are you waiting for?
Normally, that's what we would ask. Legitimately, what are you waiting for? And as little as 4 months. We won't even be part of the way through the season in that amount of time, and you could be in that new career in an in-demand field, that is IT, with growing jobs every single one. Sometimes it's cybersecurity. Sometimes it's jobs in AI. There's lots of different ways. You can work in sports or any other things, and if you've been sitting out here in this heat or anything else, you know that the next class is an opportunity to change your future. Contact our guy, Russ Mondry, Centric.com. That's CENTRIQ.com.
How old is your roof? If it's over 15 years old, now's the time to catch small issues before they become costly repairs. Century Roofing has protected Kansas City homes for more than 36 years and installed over 36,000 roofs. That's why homeowners voted Century Roofing Best Roofing Company in Johnson County for the 5th year in a row and Best in Kansas City for the 2nd consecutive year. Schedule your free inspection today at CenturyRoofingKC.com. KC based and female owned. Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
Football season is just around the corner, and just like your favorite team, you've got to fuel up to perform. At Break Time, we've got your training camp essentials, ice-cold drinks, protein-packed snacks, and all your game day favorites. Whether you're hitting the field or cheering from the sidelines, teamwork starts with the right fuel.
Let's go! One team, one goal!
Swing by Break Time, your home team for snacks, drinks, and everything in between. Download our mobile app and find a location near you. We're proud to be Missouri made.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Heartland Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Future therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Meet Taylor Burks, the woke liberal play-acting Republican to run for Congress. Burks bankrolled and praised a never-Trumper, then attacked President Trump and his supporters. Burks' PAC even endorsed a Democrat who backed Hillary Clinton for president. Never Trump money, Democrat endorsement, liberal applause. And while serving on the board of Truman State University, Taylor Burks oversaw the school's transition into a cesspool of woke garbage. Under his watch, a performance of the vulgar vagina monologues, mocking conservative values, and a pride exchange closet, providing new clothes after sex changes, the go-to boutique for trans students looking for a wardrobe tailored to them. Woke Taylor Burks, a bad fit for Missouri. The two-faced liberal phony we can't trust. Win It Backpack is responsible for the content of this ad. Paid for by Win It Backpack. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. WinItBackpack.com.
$30 million in guaranteed prizes you can cash in this football season out in Las Vegas with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entries starting at $1,000, all with zero rake. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor. You pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with a $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Participation may vary.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay,
Are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREONinfo.com.
Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win Kansas City Chiefs scratch tickets, plus a chance for the grand prize Chiefs bundle, which includes a framed jersey and a signed photo. All thanks to our friends at the Kansas Lottery.
This is Michael Waka from the Kansas City Royals, and you're listening to 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on What's Trending here on Cody and Gold. First padded practice of camp here in St. Joe. We had Kingsley Suamataia join us after practice today. We're going to hear from George Karlaftis at some point in the next hour or so as well. We heard from Andy Reid, Cody, and learned that Cyrus Allen, they're going to give him a day or two, or, quote, however many days it takes to get the swelling down on that shin bruise, that injury scare on Saturday. So he did not practice today. Xavier Worthy did not practice today with a sprained shoulder. Mansour Delane still dealing with a shoulder injury, still in the yellow non-contact jersey. Ashton Gelati, who had the hamstring injury on Friday, did not practice today. And then Omar Norman Lott still remains on the PUP list. But we'll get back into some of the other headlines today as Benson, the undrafted rookie out of Indiana, continued to get right tackle reps. And Peter Woods, one of the stories of camp today, he was very impressive in the first day of pads.
Yeah, he was. And obviously a lot of people talking about him. George Karlaftis and some of the other guys just mentioning just how good he's been. But, yeah, we'll keep talking about those guys as well. Next up on What's Trending, the trade deadline today. The Royals have made a trade. They traded Lane Thomas outside of the city. They got back 2 prospects in return, one currently in AAA, one in A-ball. A second and a 6th-round pick from a couple of years ago. JJ Piccolo will speak to the media tonight and join our show tomorrow at 10:30. But no other moves yet. That's the big question is, will the Royals make a move before 3 o'clock today, Alex, or during the show? Certainly possible, seeing how we're on the air till 2. So we'll keep an eye out on that.
Is it 3 or 5?
Or maybe it's 5.
I thought it used to be 3. I think it's 5 now.
Okay, 5 o'clock. So it's still at least possible. Terry Skubal went to the Dodgers. We'll talk about a couple more trades later on in What's Trending. The Skubal one obviously being the biggest. But there were several new moves today in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, quite a few. I mean, if we really get past 5 o'clock and the only trade the Royals made was the most obvious one, by the way, I think a very good trade and a good flip from offseason signing. But if that's all they do, they don't move Lynch. They don't move Walker or Lugo. They don't. I mean, that to me.
Don't move Lang. Somebody.
I think that would be a mistake. I really do. Elsewhere on What's Trending, Mauricio Pochettino, it's now official, and U.S. Soccer have agreed to a new contract. He is still going to remain as the head coach for the U.S. men's national team through 2030. This was reported by The Athletic last week. It's just now official. I think it's a no-brainer after the way the World Cup went. I know it ended in disappointing fashion to Belgium, but still. It seems like they're on the right track for U.S. Soccer, and glad to see that, as I say, Russell Crowe is still coaching for U.S.
Next up on What's Trending, triple of trades already taking place in Major League Baseball. The new one today, Luis Arraez is being traded to the Philadelphia Phillies. Outfielder Taylor Ward is heading to the Seattle Mariners. You might recognize these next 2 names because they've constantly been names brought up by Royals fans. And Angels Joe Adell is heading to division rival the Cleveland Guardians as part of a trade as well. So there are other moves out there. The Rangers reportedly have interest in Gore and Evaldi. And so there's a couple of other names who could get moved. But those are the big ones so far today.
In college football, some news, if there's anybody that cares about historic rivalries or at least renewing rivalries. Notre Dame and USC agreed today to a 4-game series returning in 2030 for football with a Week 1 meeting in L.A.
Here's one just for Jay Binkley. You want to finish off What's Trending with a bang?
Go for it.
Just for Jay Binkley. Lastly on What's Trending, Stetson Bitten got Bennett got first-team reps today.
Let's go.
Just for Jay
That
Binkley.
is just for Bing.
Let's go.
First-team
He
reps.
got some first-team reps for the Rams
Not
today.
Ty Simpson.
Quarterback controversy out there in L.A.?
Matthew Stafford and Ty Simpson giving way to first-team reps for Stetson Bennett. Okay.
I'll be honest.
Why?
Any team who does that, and this is where, I don't understand, well-organized teams. I would tell this Sean McVay to his face, who I've met one time. That's an idiotic move and a waste of reps. You drafted a first-round pick in Ty Simpson, and you have Stafford. So if Stafford's just getting some plays off for fun, Stetson Bennett's not getting them on my team.
I agree.
Ever. It's idiotic. Give them to Ty Simpson, your first-round pick.
Yeah.
Who you need to be good when Matt Stafford retires. But whatever, Stetson Bennett.
There's got to be more to the story of why they were doing that.
In fairness, the only reason I saw it is here's why was the
why?
USA
Here's
Today
why.
article.
Tell me why.
Oh, do you want to know the why?
I want to know why.
Let's see. Stafford's maintenance days, right? So
Okay.
the maintenance plan that will keep him out of some practice days. However, they are valuable experience for Bennett in case he needed during the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
According to this, he is likely to be in the lead back. He's the leader in the backup role. I don't care.
So Ty Simpson's the third-string quarterback?
But that's the thing, I don't care. Either you screwed up the pick or you screwed up who you're giving snaps to. One or the other. Because if he's your first-round pick and he has even a little juice, even if he's worse than Stetson Bennett today, the person who needs the reps, every rep, is the first-round pick, not the guy you drafted in the 5th or whatever.
That's crazy. That is what's trending, by the way, here on Cody and Gold. Don't forget our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Here in about 20 minutes, we'll talk about Seth Lugo and Michael Walker, including that report from Bob Nightingale over the weekend, discussing offers that may or may not be on the table, and are the Royals insisting on keeping those two or not. We'll get to that in just a little bit. You guys can always interact with us on the J Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. Video stream up and running on YouTube, Twitch, and X. Drew has our figurines. I think both of yours, or at least Nathan had both of yours up. I'm not sure.
I think it's just one of each.
I don't know why you need two figurines. I don't know why you needed two last week.
Well, they were made years apart. I didn't ask Nathan to put up two. He just did it.
Had to have two of them.
I don't make these decisions. That's either above or below my pay grade. One of the two.
we'll get to some camp questions from Drew here in about 8 minutes or so. But just back into the overarching theme of training camp today a little bit. And I still think from the weekend and the carryover today, not just the Cyrus Allen injury, but it was kind of funny to me to see how many people thought Cyrus Allen should not have been playing special teams.
Yeah.
The hype around him is great, but when he makes the team, is always going to be a special teams player right now. That doesn't matter how great he looks. If you're anywhere past number 1, number 2 on the depth chart at wide receiver, you're playing special teams for the most part. That's just how this thing works.
Until he jumps Rashee Rice in the pecking order of targets, he'll be on special teams. Now, I think what happened here, because I'll just tell you right now, if you're listening and you're like, it was offensive and you were mad because Cyrus Allen's looked good in practice, how the hell could he be running special team snaps? The mistake I think Tobe made was not saying Cyrus Allen has to play special team snaps because that's the way that it is, because that is accurate. It's when he started to roll in Mansour Delane. Because I'll tell you right now here, Dave, if you think that Mansour Delane should at any point this season run a single special team snap, that's idiotic. That to me is stupid. That's a stupid decision. Because he's the 6th overall pick. Yeah, all things aren't created equal. Life's unfair like that. If you're a 4th-round pick, a 5th-round pick, yeah, you got to play special team snaps. Hell, if you're a 3rd-round pick, Ashton Gelati from last year, you got to play special team snaps. But if you're a 1st-round pick, you're off the hook. But especially if you're a top 10 pick in the NFL draft, if he comes off of the injured jersey list at any point, they put him in a regular red jersey, he better not play a single special team snap the entire year. He's coming off an injury, and he's a 6th overall pick. He's the number 1 corner. Some people get propelled to the top of the list. That was the mistake. Not that Cyrus Allen. Cyrus Allen, you don't want Cyrus Allen playing special team snaps? That's how he gets even more involved on the team. That's how Tyreek Hill got his start. That's how guys like L'Jarius Sneed got their start. That's how these guys made a name for themselves more than once.
Well,
that's common.
Sure.
That's normal.
I mean, Puka Nacua, before he blew up, he was playing
coverage.
special teams still for the Rams. So that's just not
life.
Understanding, frankly, the way the depth chart works and who has to play special teams and what bodies are going to be out there. Now, I'm with you on Delane mainly, Cody, not even just the first-round pick. It's more that the fact that he's hurt right now. And so that's why I just wouldn't even have him out on special teams drills because he's got a yellow non-contact jersey. It's just not worth that whatsoever. We can talk about the regular season when we get there. But I specifically just don't get that portion because of the yellow non-contact. And we've been saying this every single –
You could have said R. Mason and nobody would have questioned. You said Mons or Delane.
Every single day we've been up here at St. Joe. How many more days till the yellow non-contact jersey
I don't think we're going to see it.
I'm getting a little nervous about it. I am, although I thought last Friday when Andy said, it's time, is that, that clearly shows you that the coaching staff's getting a little antsy, but of course the medical staff is saying, yeah, he needs some more time for the shoulder. It wasn't something he had a procedure on or anything to my knowledge, right?
No.
This was just something he
But Nate said the medical staff's
still
worried about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that should be concerning to all of us, the fact that that's still the case. And look, it's fine. It stinks that for the first padded practice there was no Xavier Worthy, no Cyrus Allen, and no Mansour Delane. But there's still plenty of time, though, for all of those guys to get healthy. So why, like in a lot of ways, why risk it? What I thought was interesting with Nate there was him saying what makes it tough for the Chiefs is they got a real firm policy, rule, plan that they don't mess around with, Gold. Everybody plays in the preseason. Everybody practices. And right now, the way that this training camp is leaning towards, they're not going to have their number one wide receiver practice regularly at any particular stage. Their number two wide receiver is now multiple days away from practicing again. Their number 4 wide receiver, let's call him, and Cyrus Allen's a number of days away from practicing, and their number 1 corner is not available. So, preseason might look even more bleak than normal. But it's also why, if Cyrus Allen can get back on the field, because of the way they're going to treat Rice and the way they should treat Worthy now, Cyrus Allen has a real chance to make a name for himself. So does Taekwon. But, those guys have a real chance to, establish their role in the offense. Not just how they look in camp, as in, oh, no, you can trust me week 1, too, and I'll
for
see
sure,
you
but there's still – but this is why, Friday, I was trying to pump the brakes, though, a little bit on Allen. We're all excited. But even what you just said, that scenario where Worthy and Rice aren't on the field that much the rest of camp or whatever, even if Cyrus Allen catches 5 passes from Justin Fields for 80 yards and a touchdown, he's not jumping to the – I know you know this. He's not jumping to the number 2 wide receiver for the Chiefs.
No.
But I feel like fans –
hey, I deserve my role.
But I feel like fans will. Fans will – people are – I see the text line every day. You see it every day. The fans are very down on Xavier Worthy. And so if Cyrus Allen goes out there and looks good in preseason, there will be people that think he should be playing more than Worthy, which is crazy to me.
Although what's weird, though, is I don't disagree. But, last year Taekwon Thornton should have been playing over some other people. Sometimes they make the wrong decision. I'm not there yet. Again, I'm not delusional. I don't think that. I think it'd be far too early to be like, Allen's better. I do think occasionally, and this is why I said 5-10% chance when you'd ask me what percentage chance I think at the end of the year. Let's just call it more yards, because let's just rank that importance. More yards for Cyrus Allen or Xavier Worthy. I think it's a 5% chance Cyrus Allen finishes with more yards, maybe 10%. I don't. It's not a 0 for me.
It's not 0. It's definitely no more than 5.
But it still takes a lot taking place, and it does take you randomly finding that Puka Nacua and the Chiefs playing him. I just want to point out that Tyreek Hill, who is a future Hall of Fame wide receiver, finished his rookie year with 550 yards receiving. Even he couldn't get on the field above some other dudes, above Demarcus Robinson, right? He's better than Demarcus Robinson probably during that time, but he could. I don't remember if it was
both things can be true though. Both things can be true. A player could have played immediately and been great immediately. B, there was also still a scenario. I feel like we're all guilty of this. We're like, well, if he just would have played right away, he would have been great right away, without acknowledging that, hey, maybe development is an actual thing in the National Football League.
Yeah, it's definitely both with guys like that. But some guys can just play, but it is rare. What is it? 1 a year? Legitimately. It was Amon Ra. If we went back from Amon Ra's draft, let's put him in the 4th round. If we went from his draft on, would we find 1 a year? Or would we find 5 out of 6 years or 4 out of 6 years? Or because there's Puka and Amon Ra in the last couple of years I can think of. Mm-hmm. Who else are we missing? I don't want to go too far back. I don't want to go back to the Tyreek, because then I got to go 10 years back.
You're just asking for any other wide receivers.
Yeah, in the last 5 or 6 years, are there other guys that I can point to is Cyrus Allen.
You mean who are like later picks that?
Yeah, later picks that immediately impacted the roster.
Yeah.
Like, mattered immediately. Like, was there one last year? Like, legitimately.
So I'm looking at last year. If we're talking like third round on, you want to say third round on or fourth round
Sure.
on?
Fourth, I think is what you
Fourth is really, but I might accept third.
Fourth is a stretch. I mean, even then, there's nobody who's there.
So it's probably like 60% of drafts or something. People find some guy later in a round that made it. I went to 2 years ago draft, and I'm looking at the fourth round. Was there a guy like Troy Franklin was drafted in that? He wasn't an immediate impact guy, right? So he was further down the list. And we know right now, like running backs, sure, still haven't found a wide receiver. Still haven't found a wide receiver that mattered immediately, and I'm not going to, because otherwise I'd have probably remembered him. We remember the names of the late-round draft picks for a reason.
Yeah, I think someone misunderstood we're talking about late. Someone said JSN. He was a first-round pick. We're talking.
I don't want you to answer Justin Jefferson.
We're not asking what wide receivers had a good year. We're saying the Cyrus Allen is, of course, a fifth-round pick. So what other fifth-round receivers other than Puka in recent history have immediately had an impact? That's why we're trying to find a couple names. It just doesn't really happen.
No major ones.
And look,
I can't find one in 2024.
It's funny, like now that I'm pumping it, like someone said I'm a hater on Cyrus Allen. I'm just saying let's not act like week one that he's going to outsnap Xavier Worthy. That's all. Okay, that's all I'm saying. To me, there is no scenario other than Worthy being hurt, which is a real possibility, by the way. Other than Worthy being hurt and not playing in said game, there is no scenario where Cyrus Allen is out-snapping Worthy week 1. Week 12, we can have a different conversation.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
No,
I think you agree with that. I mean,
yes. Essentially all I'm doing is entering the possibility into the universe.
Yeah.
I'm not taking it and running with it or saying that I think that's what's going to take place. The problem is, I can tell the difference between a camp, I think anymore, like I think I have a discerning eye between camp story, fans are making things up, media wrote about some player who's fun to talk about, so enough writers wrote about it that you've convinced yourself, the LRZs, the Justin Rosses of the world. I think I now have a discerning eye enough to tell you the difference between camp story
this is different.
and has a real chance to play.
Yeah, this is
Trey
different.
Smith had a real chance to play. We knew it right away. It mattered. Cyrus Allen has a real chance to play. He is a player that we're not going to fine each other $1 for you guys bringing up on the show. He deserves conversation and paying attention. All I'm saying, he's not above everybody on the depth chart yet. And there's a difference between that. Similar is like Khalil Benson now is on the list a little.
All right, Drew, let's get to some camp questions.
Camp questions.
All right, guys. So just going off of what we just talked about for wide receiver, is this based on what we've seen with Cyrus Allen and Xavier Worthy? I know that the Armstrongs look good, but do they just need to sign a wide receiver? Like, I don't care if it's Diggs, Allen, anybody else out there, instead of relying on these guys. I understand some of them might have some juice, but to bring somebody in the room who's a vet that is at least reliable enough from a health standpoint to be a part of this offense, so it's not Patrick Mahomes trying to elevate everybody else who is not the level of being a 2 or a 3 like Keenan Allen is or like Stephon Diggs is.
Well, if I was prepared Saturday when we first saw the video of the Allen injury and everybody's freaking out, I was prepared to come on the show today. If we would have found out that Allen was out for the rest of camp or something, I would have said, yes, they need to go sign Stephon Diggs. That would have been my take on the situation. I don't think they're there now. I mean, because here's the thing. Let's say they go sign Stephon Diggs. You know, all this talk, by the way, all the talk about Cyrus Allen right now,
that puts a damper
where
on
is he getting on the field anymore? Like, do you want to do that?
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
And so there's the balance between the two.
How much do they really like him?
If you told me Xavier Worthy was needing another procedure to fix the shoulder again and going to miss 2 months, absolutely. Right this second, I don't think, nor should they really sign anybody else. The time to do it was, of course, to draft a higher in wide receiver. Correct. Or to go and sign Mike Evans, earlier in the offseason, that kind of stuff. I think the roster, for the most part, is kind of set in terms of the going out and getting a veteran free agent.
At this point, because I do think they really like Cyrus Allen, don't do any of that and just keep Tyreek Hill's cell phone number. If you get desperate and push comes to shove, you call that man in October. See if you can get him around here before Thanksgiving. But I don't see a need to do it now, Drew, if that makes sense.
The second question I've got for you, I saw this over as I was traveling back, that somebody had said basically they're concerned about how R. Mason Thomas has looked against Josh Simmons, more concerned for Josh Simmons than R. Mason Thomas. Is it more about Josh Simmons while he's getting beat by a rookie, or is it R. Mason Thomas is basically been unblockable.
Okay, so here's the truth of it.
Because I have not been paying. Obviously, I was on vacation. I wasn't paying too much attention.
Everybody, do yourself a favor and follow Mitchell Schwartz on Twitter if you don't, because if you're taking some dude sitting row 6 in the stands up here at training camp's word on what, or some dude whose site you like, but you're like, trust their reps over Mitchell Schwartz, who's been spending nothing but time telling people when they're wrong about whether someone wins a rep or not, you know that Josh Simmons overall has looked very solid. Unquestionably solid. Oh, Mason Thomas looked good too, but I don't have any worries over Simmons. Do you, Gold?
No, not at all. In fact, the Simmons and our Mason Thomas clip, I guess, that people were talking about was last week when there weren't even pads on. It's a big difference when the pads are on. I think Josh Simmons, I'm with Nate. We've been talking about it throughout the camp. I think Josh Simmons has a chance to be an All-Pro, and I don't think last year's absence changes that for me.
All right, the last one that I have is this whole regarding what happened last week with you guys. How many?
Oh God!
How many Chiefs players do you think wear swim shoes?
Zero.
Yeah.
No.
I would agree.
Maybe one. Maybe some do they have like the hippie likes to live in there? No, they wouldn't wear swim shoes. I got nothing. No, zero.
Because the main thing, obviously, this goes back to JT's comments from last week. I understand the desire to wear swimsuits. I suppose some people do it. I understand the desire to wear house shoes and everything like that. You don't want your feet touching the floor. That's fine. But the moment that he said he wears shoes to bed was
no, not just to bed.
Sex.
Well, no. So this is the caveat. I asked him. I said, "Do you wear the shoes when you're like going to sleep as well?" He said, "No." So he only wears them in bed, I suppose, when he's having sex, which is, but I'm sure his feet touch his fiance during when he's sleeping too.
Like, I do not think that they do. Okay. I think that he very clearly keeps his feet away, is my guess. I hope they got a big bed.
Drew, I mean, it's weird. We went, as someone pointed out, from our producer, Drew, wearing no shoes while mowing the yard to fill-in producer JT wearing shoes while having sex. Is quite
neither make any sense.
Quite the dynamic there.
The shoe, okay, man. What makes less sense? Him wearing the shoes while having sex, or me not wearing shoes while mowing the grass? I think him wearing shoes while having sex is insane.
I bet less people do it. How about that?
Okay.
Yours is certainly riskier.
Mine definitely is like hillbilly behavior, yeah.
He's not risking anything except not having sex by wearing shoes during it. You're risking, losing a toe. So, he's engaging. You're engaging in riskier behavior in that case. But
yeah, right.
Clearly, there's probably more people who have mowed with no shoes on than have had sex with shoes on.
There you go.
Regularly.
All right, that's the camp questions. Our training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Up next, we'll get to the random question of the day and talk more about the MLB trade deadline. Deadline is at 5 o'clock. Are the Royals trading anybody else, including Michael Wacha or Seth Lugo? We'll discuss it next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
You already know so much about yourself. I don't know why you would stop the thing you know is your testosterone level, whether it be your weight, how much you make, the mileage on your car. I certainly see that driving up here to St. Joe. Why wouldn't you want to know what your T level is and if it's normal for your age, especially if you're over the age of 40, because that's when 1 in 5 men start experiencing low testosterone. If you don't know the answer, Low T Center can help, and they'll do it for free. Come take a free testosterone test and find out if the Low T Center can help invigorate your life like it has for thousands of other men here in Kansas City. Don't wait any longer and find out for yourself where you are and make sure that if there's a problem, you get it fixed. Go to fixmylowt.com and book an appointment for your free T test today. That's fixmylowt.com.
The corrupt political establishment. If you're ready to give them the finger, Taylor Burks is your man for Congress. Taylor Burks, America First conservative, outsider, 3 combat deployments as a naval commander. Taylor Burks will stand with President Trump against rhinos and the corrupt establishment. In Congress, Burks will always put America first. He'll work with Trump to deport every last illegal ban Communist China from owning 1 inch of our land, and protect our elections by passing the SAVE Act once and for all. So if you want to tell off the political establishment, conservative warrior Taylor Burks, an America First patriot for Congress. Paid for by Show Me Valor PAC. www.showmevalorpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Show Me Valor PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack. Jack had a home he needed to sell fast. And Jack thought he had it all figured out. So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers. Jack chose the highest offer. But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out, leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do. Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer. Jack got suckered. Make sure you aren't hung out to dry. Call our dad at Rex Buys KC. Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals. No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises. Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process. Now, don't be like Jack. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
The Royals and the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation are teaming up with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City to recognize outstanding high school sports coaches through the Blue KC Coaches with Character program. From April to September, we'll recognize 6 coaches as a Blue KC Coach with Character. Each honoree will receive a VIP package that includes tickets to a Royals game and more. Be part of honoring our high school coaches whose service is making Kansas City a better place to live, work, and play. Just go to bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character to nominate today.
Hi, I'm Jacob, your friend and an actual jeweler craftsman at Shane Company. I'm proud to work for a family business that's been committed to the highest quality standards for nearly 100 years. Your dream engagement ring is designed for quality every step of the way. We set your diamond by hand, not with machines. Prong tips are beautiful and secure, and intricate details are thoughtfully crafted. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend knows true love deserves the highest quality. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
When your AC starts breaking down, AB May is here to help your house feel like a home again. Serving Kansas City for over 65 years, AB May handles it all from AC repairs and upgrades to indoor air quality. When it comes to your home, solved is our standard. And AB May is committed to doing things the right way every time. Trusted by generations. Call AB May at 913-383-2222 or visit abmay.com today.
Call your serviceman from AB May.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Chiefs training camp coverage sponsored by Border Magic, giving your landscape its winning edge. This football season, give your home a winning edge with Border Magic. Custom concrete landscape edging adds lasting beauty and unbeatable curb appeal. Choose from a variety of styles and colors, all backed by a 10-year warranty. southkc.bordermagic.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, back here in St. Joe, Cody and Gold broadcasting live from Chiefs Camp, presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. We'll get to the random question of the day in a couple of minutes. I did see a quote from Raiders camp, Cody. Chiefs play them in, week 4, I think it is. And we know it'll be Kirk Cousins starting week 1. Maybe by week 4 it's Mendoza, who knows. Anyway, Clint Kubiak, their new head coach, all I see is the quote that says, quote, "We don't have any turds."
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
no
nice to know.
turds. No turds out in Las Vegas this year, they said.
Why would you say it like that?
They don't have any.
That's got to be the most out of context.
We have a professional group of players.
Oh, he's saying there's no turds on the
getting...
team? Oh, no, I've watched the Raiders. They got plenty of them. Kubiak. What? They don't have to lie?
We watch our tape. We talk about what is acceptable, what's not. We don't have any turds on this team.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sure, that'd be the first time in Raiders history.
We got guys that want to be here, that want to win, that want to change this place.
But stink at football, so you can want to win all you want. If you're no good, you're no good. Come on. This is the part about sports that I like. Like, what do you want them to say? Not lies. I applaud people for telling the truth. I don't applaud Clint Kubiak for trying to pretend like none of his players are turds. Like, come on. I know you got some lazy ass player. You got someone who can't really play football. You got some bad ones. Everyone does. It's all right. And you don't have to berate those people publicly. You can just quietly berate them at practice or in the in the room. But you don't have to pretend like they're all good. By the way, if you got no bad players in your whole squad, great news. You should be making the playoffs this year, I think, Clint.
It does feel like coaches try to give all, like the only one who's actually successfully done this sort of thing where it actually has panned out is Kurt Cignetti. To the point of, I win Google me. When you're going to Indiana and you actually. It
usually backfires.
And he actually did it. Yeah, it normally definitely backfires.
It's tough. I've learned my lesson because maybe they're just getting to be bigger personalities, but the last couple of people who've acted insane in like an opening press conference or in their first couple of months in the job, like Dan Campbell and Liam Cohen, I was like, well, this isn't going to work out. Vibes are already weird. I don't want to, like, just because he's like, I've got no. It just sounds so like football coachy in some way. I don't know, but like the opposite.
We'll see what happens. Ultimately, as you said, he wins games. Nobody cares what they say, And there's been plenty of coaches that we thought were going to fail because of a press conference.
He'll fail if Mendoza's no good.
For sure. Yeah, not because he says something.
Yeah.
That's how it works. All right, let's talk a little MLB trade deadline, 5 o'clock today. We know the big moves that have happened with Skubal headlining it. But here in Kansas City, one move, Lane Thomas, I think was a very good trade for them. But no Lugo, no Walker yet. There was a report over the weekend that had people talking because Bob Nightingale had reported that the Royals have received, quote, a ton of interest in Michael Walker and Seth Lugo, but Kansas City has, quote, rebuffed all offers, believe they need them to compete next year. Now, I know you would have talked to somebody in the Royals organization that refutes that part of it, that they're not just saying no to everything.
That they are listening to offers and I think openly admitting that the price tag will still be somewhat high. But yes, they are refuting much of what. Now, look, Bob Nightingale does not have the best reputation of being accurate. So I would preface that with his reputation of saying things that aren't 100% there. It's a little strong. He's not the worst guy in the business for it, but he's had some misses, let's admit. There's an open joke on the internet that if Bob Nightingale says it, it's the opposite. I saw like a week ago, Bob Nightingale said the same thing Passon was saying, which is the owners think they might miss some games. Someone's like, I've never been more sure there's going to be a season now. So, like, I understand the part of it. I think what is happening, though, is the Royals have placed a very high price tag on Walker and Lugo, which doesn't make them unmovable, but makes them probably difficult to move. But what also happened in baseball is that report came out before Skubal was traded.
Yeah.
And everybody, by the way, this is not just Nightingale or the Royals or anything else, everybody knew in baseball that essentially the starting pitching market wasn't going to move and nothing was going to happen until they were done figuring out where Tarik Skubal was going to go. So it's probably a little premature in they're just Like, he's making it seem like there's, the suitors are just coming from everywhere. All 29 teams.
And they're flat out
just
saying
begging,
no.
and they're just saying no matter what. Now, I also think that they can't win next year, and you and I have said without maybe some of those guys. They're tough. They're in a tough spot because of how bad it's got. They are. They're in a weird spot.
The issue I have with
it's a win-win.
The issue I have with it is I agree that rotation that doesn't have Waka in particular. Lugo's the one. Like, Lugo to me should be way easier to trade. Like, Waka has been one of the better pitchers in all of baseball.
Yeah.
You can maybe make the argument that you think he can replicate this.
He's been a starter his whole career.
Seth Lugo, that one makes less sense to me. But if you want to tell me that you need both of them to compete next year, okay. But what about everything else on the roster? Like, I agree. The rotation, of course, next year is better with Waka and Lugo in it. However, is this team truly going to be in position to compete next year? We all want them to. We all think they need to take advantage of every year of Bobby Witt Jr. But does this group that they currently have the ability to do that? And we know you can't just run it back. You're not going to run it back and suddenly turn into a playoff team. It wasn't all just bad luck this year for the Kansas City Royals in 2026. There were coaching problems. There were front office decisions that went poorly. There were players that underperformed. Yes, injuries also happened as well. And so they believe they can compete in 2027, obviously. Is that truly they're going to have to show fans in the offseason that they are going to be able to make moves to do that, because just running it back, no, Cody, they will not repeat. They will not be able to get back to the postseason.
That is the follow-up, and I think something we'll talk to. JJ Picola will join the show tomorrow at 10:30. I think it's a more than fair follow-up, which is, let's say they don't trade him. Let's say tomorrow we lead the show and we're like, they didn't make any other moves. They traded Lane Thomas. They kept the rest of their roster. Are you just praying you're better, or what is your plan to fix the obvious holes in the roster? Because I'll say, the plan is way harder without Waka or Lugo, because I got to fix multiple starting rotation spots, and I got to fix some of the outfield, and I got to revamp the entire bullpen, and I got they got enough problems to solve without those, and I don't blame them. I do want them to win with Bobby Witt Jr. I will say, the idea of trading those guys away makes me think that next year's out. So at best it's 2028. Maybe 2029. I'm just throwing Bobby.
But are they ignoring
into the trash? I'm not willing to do that.
100% with you. But are they ignoring reality, which is you listed off about 5 or 6 things that they need to fix?
Is it 2 years away no matter what?
Exactly. And the thing is, if you're saying, hey, we can't compete next year without Waka and Lugo, okay, again, I will agree with that. But can you fix everything else as well? If you cannot fix those things, then who gives a damn that you're keeping Waka and Lugo? Because then that means you kept them and you got nothing for them and you still didn't do it. It sets yourself up where if you keep both those players and you don't spend a little bit more money, if you don't nail a couple of these other trades, hopefully you make in the offseason by making a trade that's probably going to be a tough pill to swallow for some fans, a player that maybe is a fan favorite perhaps. If you don't do that kind of stuff, then this is a terrible decision not to trade them. The only way the decision to keep them works, Cody, and you agree with this, is if they make the playoffs next year. And if they don't, everybody's gone.
Correct.
Everybody.
And I guess that's why, if as a casual fan, it's why I would actually, in a weird way, I see fans being like, that's it, I'm out. If they don't trade anybody away. And I'm like, look, I can want it, but still understand the side of it. And for that end, the winning part of it, in the end, that's what I care about more than anything else. I want long, sustained winning like anybody else does. I'll just be honest with you. There's no amount of trades they can make this season that's going to completely resolve their entire minor league system. So, that ain't getting resolved overnight. And so, this part of the question of, and look, I'm not getting into they got the right people for the job. That's a separate conversation, is the truth. But so...
if they're all still around next year,
I actually kind of
it'll answer that question, because there will be nothing other than the simple fact: do they make the playoffs next year or not? There will be nothing else. Otherwise, they're all gone.
From a job security standpoint, they're taking a bigger risk this way. And as a fan, I don't know why that would concern you. If you don't think they're the right people for the job, well, you should want them taking risks with their job. Because
I disagree with that.
Really?
Yeah, I disagree with that. If you think in your scenario,
they can't trade away. No.
But in your scenario, you're saying. If you're wondering about their job security, you want them to take risks. Yeah, but if there are people listening out there that don't think they have the right people in charge, so they don't want them making any more moves.
I guess, but in that case, they're not making any moves. They're just staying with Waka and Lugo and continuing on with their day, trying to win. And if they don't win, they'll be gone. And then you'll have somebody else to dislike. And it's just, and I'm not even here, that part of it is always a challenge. But I don't know. It's weird because I know we've had this conversation with football, and while they're not apples to apples, there's not that big of a difference between job protection and the way we talk about, like, where a GM should draft a first-round quarterback or they need to move on from a quarterback who they really, more often than not, it's when they pay a quarterback. When they got Bryce Young sitting around and you're like, that guy's not very good, do not pay him, you will not win. And your point has been, well, that guy will probably get him 8 wins, and 8 wins won't get you fired nearly as fast as going to the basement. And I guess in the Royals' case, that's kind of what they're doing here. Like, going to the basement is trading Walker and Lugo and putting your job at risk. So, like, I guess I'm not surprised that somebody would do it, but also, in this case, at least in baseball, it's like one season can kind of change the math on it a little. I don't know. It's just difficult.
But this is the second year in a row of not making the playoffs. This is not just like they made the playoffs last year and now it happened. That was last year where they came up short. This year it's been a complete disaster.
Oh, this year's been so bad it has soured a lot of fans' confidence in anything they're doing. And I can't. There's nothing I'm going to say. I'm not here to tell you that I'm like the most confident person in the direction at the moment either. But I also like this trade deadline. For me, the ones that will it's weird. The ones that will frustrate me more than Walker or Lugo are Lynch and Lang, and the guys that I don't think they're going to, like other guys I don't think they're going to trade. Those are the moves I'd make. Bullpens stink. You brought back everybody from a bullpen that was good last year. They're the worst bullpen in baseball. Baseball arms in the bullpen are so volatile. The idea that you would clutch onto them like they're assets, they could go belly up literally any second. So, like, Alex Lang could be awful next year. Daniel Lynch could be terrible. Doesn't mean he will be, but they could be, and because it happens in baseball constantly. Those guys, I'd move in a millisecond. Starting pitching tend to be relatively consistent.
if they don't trade, if they don't trade, two things can be true. I can agree with you that their chance of competing next year without Walker, Lugo, or Slim. But also, there's still the scenario, and they have to be right on this part, which is, do they actually believe Walker, a year older, late 30s, Lugo, a year older, late 30s, can be as effective as they are this year? You know?
I'd be afraid. I'd be really afraid. If I were the Royals, I'd wonder if that's the right move. But if they don't trade him, obviously they think that.
For sure. For sure.
I don't think there's any mystery in that, and they could be wrong.
Absolutely.
They could be very wrong on that. It's so weird. What I think most frustrating about this season is the moves they made to strengthen the roster from a year ago worked. Play Carter more. Do Jack Caglione, not all, because Strom's been a bust, but Jack Caglione more. Carter, Jensen, like some of the guys they relied on, it kind of like functioned. And then it was like all the guys who you were counting on being good, who were good the year before, all stunk or hurt.
Yeah.
Like they lost Garcia and Vinny and Bobby all for some stretch of time. Carlos Estevez. And, I mean, so many more. The one move they made that was just a total whiff was Strom.
Bringing back Jonathan India.
And Jonathan, yeah, that one.
And I get
in
it.
fairness, I saw that one coming, but.
And that one you did call ahead of time. Now, some of these are hindsight being 20/20, a couple of them, right? But, the injury thing, Chris Bubich being hurt, that's not hindsight 20/20. That's just the history of his career.
Same with Cole Reagan.
That's his career.
Those are injury-prone players. And we've said this about the guys who are on the roster who've been regularly injured at other stages. It's like most of that stuff just doesn't change. It's been, I don't know, it's a weird year. And obviously I hope they either make a big move and get a top prospect back or are good next year, because those seem to be the two worlds in which we're living. And we'll see which way they go today when the trade deadline happens later this afternoon.
All right, let's get to the random question of the day.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Text line 913-586-7965. Of course, we have YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook up if you want to chat with us there, if that's how you regularly consume the show. Then it's up on those streams still, no matter what. Of course, we can take your text at 913-586-7965. So, did a clean out of, like, the kids' closets, right? We're a couple weeks away from school. Got to figure out what kind of clothes they need, Gold, which ones don't fit anymore. You're just letting rot in the bottom of a drawer.
Did you get your daughter a new backpack?
No, she didn't want one. I allowed her the option, Drew, and she said she wants to keep her red one. So, haters. She might change her mind, but because her friend recently was bragging about her new backpack, so who's to say? The point is that we were clearing stuff out for school clothes to figure it out. And we have like one single bin of like kid keepsakes. Maybe it's a shirt that they wore a lot or from a first, whatever, right? A small plastic tub of kid keepsakes. And it made me wonder what your answer is to this, which is there's very few toys in there, but we know that that's really common. We're at the age now that we're the people buying up our childhood toys. We've got adult money buying this stuff. If you could repurchase one toy from your childhood, what is the one do you think you'd get the most enjoyment out of? So what's the one that you're like, man, that toy ruled, and you'd still want it back? I think my answer is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles van, by the way. Mm-hmm. It was the van where the side door popped out and you could put him in there, the April O'Neil news van or whatever. I played the hell out of that thing. The Ninja Turtle toys were a very regular toy of mine as a small kid. So that vehicle in particular, that or the copter, the one that had the punching bags on it, I got as much use out of those two toys as about any around. So I think that if I had chose one and I was going to like play action figures or whatever with my kid, I think that's my answer for it.
That's good.
I'll take your answers at 913-586-7965.
A couple things come to mind. I mean, one, I don't know if this counts, though. I mean, for me, if we could eliminate the fact that we now know graphics are so much better on video games. Like, if I could just go back to playing Mario Kart on N64, and I know, by the way, I know I can.
Yeah, I own that
but
one
it's
still.
very difficult to go back and play those games now because back then we didn't know how bad the graphics were.
You want to erase your brain and remember what it was like to get on GoldenEye for an afternoon.
I want to play like Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball on Super Nintendo and N64. I know I can, but I can't because it looks so damn bad that I can't play it. Or I want to play.
My brother sent me a screenshot of him with his young kids playing Ken Griffey Jr. on Super Nintendo the other day.
Yeah, or I would want to play the original Sim City on Super Nintendo. You go back to it now, you can't even see the screen. It's like the pixels are so messed up. So that's probably my answer, honestly.
Tamagotchi over on the text line. Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
Someone says that Turtles news van is super expensive now. Well, I wish I had held on to it, I guess. But, as a kid, you don't think about those things. And we beat the hell out of it. I can't even imagine it was in good shape.
Tamagotchi, man. Yep. Love the Tamagotchi. Remember the Furbies? Remember the Furby? Did you have a Furby?
You did play with your... I did not have a Furby.
That thing.
You know what? I actually viewed the Furby as that felt like a rich kid toy to me.
Really?
Yeah, anything that the same as like the Tickle Me Elmo. It's like, oh, you got animatronics in your toys? Not in this house.
Okay.
You gotta use your imagination.
Okay.
It's probably what it is. That's not terrible. It's $100. I could still live my childhood dream for the Ninja Turtles van. I got adult money. $100. This one's got the original like torpedoes that go with it. Drew, what's your answer?
Before I answer, are you talking about the Channel 6 news van?
It's
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
It's green, yellow with an orange like waffle iron door. It's probably not the one you played with, Drew. We are quite a bit different in age.
There's one that I see that's $50.
Okay, it might be that one. I just found one that was like complete for $100.
Anyways, okay.
And I want the OG, right? Clearly.
Yeah, no, for sure. Mine would be the Fisher's. Fisher's Price would make those basketball hoops that you could you could raise the level a little bit on them.
Dude, my kid still has one of those. I can just give that to you now.
I had one of those growing up. I would just play. I'd bring it inside the house. Probably not a good idea. I broke some plates when I was a little kid doing this, but I would shoot baskets inside the house, and I would just bring it in. I would get one of those again. I think I would have a blast with one of the Fisher's Price basketball hoops.
Somebody says the old school handy dandy notebook from Blue's Clues.
Hey.
Either my Star Wars X-Wing with Luke is the pilot. That thing's probably worth a lot of money, too. Let's see. What are some of the other answers over there? Beanie Babies and G.I. Joe's getting a mention. Somebody said they also had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles helicopter. What's the Ghostbusters garage? I don't remember that one. Did you have, what was your big, did you have like a playhouse or whatever? Like I had Skeletor's Castle, but I didn't own anything else.
Playhouse?
We just, like a Barbie dream house, but for boys. They had a Skeletor Castle, or I had the Ninja Turtle street scene where you could pour ooze down into the
I don't think I had any of that.
alleys, and they could swing. Somebody's going to remember this toy. They could swing from the telephone lines, and you could pour ooze down into the sewers.
I mean, maybe I did.
Onto the bad guys.
I'll have to text my family to see if I don't remember playing with anything like that.
We had Lincoln Logs.
Damn, that Ghostbusters garage goes for like $700.
Dang.
I guess like 120 or 300 if it's not nearly as nice, but
we had Lincoln Logs.
Lincoln Logs?
Not anything
that's
like
a lame.
like the house.
That's a lame one to say. Oh, you're just saying you built the house.
Yeah. We didn't have anything like that. We never got anything like that. We would build stuff with the Lincoln Logs or whatnot.
Somebody says creepy crawlers. Did you ever have one of those ovens that made like the creepy crawlers? That was a big commercial in my childhood, where they're essentially making gummy worms but in an easy bake oven.
Oh.
Those things are unsafe as hell. They got so hot, toxic, terrible. Like, genuinely should not eat anything that came out of that thing. We're all probably going to live a little bit less long. Guitar Hero, did you ever get into that?
Oh, yeah. I play Guitar Hero a ton. Way too much. Rock Band, Guitar Hero.
Would you enjoy picking up a Guitar Hero guitar if you were just in someone's house having a couple drinks?
Yeah, I wonder how bad I would be at it now, but yeah. Absolutely.
You'd pick it up. There are a lot.
Carry On My Wayward Son. Just start with that on Guitar Hero. Absolutely.
That's the easiest one.
It is. That's the easiest song, I think.
Kansas.
Yeah.
Someone says they're not called playhouses, Cody. Boys play with forts. I don't know what they were called. They always had a different one. You know, that's why I was taking the answers over here. Somebody's mentioned the original Power Rangers Megazord from ZM over on Twitch. Spent my adult monies in the last 5 years collecting them. So he's gone back. He's actually gone back and done it. We're of the age that's not uncommon. I have my Nintendo from childhood. I have my Super Nintendo, the N64. I have all that in
That's cool. I don't have any of those anymore.
I have all of those and a bunch of games. And so, like, all the old, like, Nintendo stuff, like the Power Pad, like Power Glove, I got all that just, like, sitting around in the
just hoarding it
in the utility room. Like, it kind of feels like it's like the only thing where you're like, it's that or sell it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and a part of it is just like the effort. What am I going to do? Go through and piece this thing out and figure out what's worth what? Because I know I've got, like for instance, I know, like, I have Secret of Mana, and I have, there's a couple of, like, Earthbound. Like, I got a couple of, like, Super Nintendo games that are worth, like, money. Like, are worth, like, $100 or something. Yeah, some ones that you bought back in the day. Like, some Final Fantasies and stuff that are worth money or whatever. They're just sitting there collecting dust. I don't want to go through the trouble of selling them. Feels like a lot of work. This is why I didn't get through that, you know, that Amazon pallet.
Someone said, you guys had toys growing up? Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
How old are you, sir?
I did.
Yeah, like Legos too.
There's also
That's
7 of us.
Obviously, classic. Yeah.
Yeah, Legos. I mean, Legos weren't what they were when we were a kid.
Oh,
no.
For what they've become now, yes. Yeah.
Nothing. I didn't know anybody who made Lego like that now. There's a million different sets. And
I still one thing I'll never have the answer to that I still like. We know, like, Pokemon's very popular now again, right? Like, some of the cards are worth a fortune. I was very much into Pokemon when I was a kid, and there was a binder full of cards, and those are long gone, by the way.
Oh, that should haunt.
But it's a big what if, because I had some of the original Pokemon stuff, and I had the Pokedex as well. I was all in, and I'm convinced there was at least a few cards that were worth some serious money, and those are long gone because my mom thought it was a good idea. Like, you're not going to touch this again. Let's throw them out.
In fairness, they weren't, you know. They're not worth the same.
Someone said it sounds like you have a lot of things for next year's garage sale, Cody.
I'm just giving up. I gave up I put in a Nintendo item for the very first garage show when we were looking for items. It was the scope from Super Scope 6.
That's right.
I put up the game and the Super Scope, which was one of the many things But I didn't even like that game when I was a kid. It was so hard to use. It was such a pain in the ass. It was terrible.
That is the random question of the day. Up next, we're going to hear from George Karloftis. Also going to hear from Trey Smith. Plus, we discussed last week FIFA's plan, or at least Infantino's plan. It backfired already, and now he might be without a job. We'll get to that next.
You're listening to Cody and Gold.
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
We know baseball season is in full swing, and there's no better place to be than Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform. Trade deadline finishing up today, which means we got probabilities moving left and right. After the trade yesterday for Los Angeles, they're trading at 41.5%, meaning a $100 investment would see a $231 return if they were to win the championship, like they do, every year. There's lots of other ones you could go over there as well. New York currently trading at 11.6%, meaning 100 on them. If they were to win the whole thing, would be an $812 return. That's because on Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there is no house, and as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. Download the Kalshi app today. Use code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to get $500 in bonus credits when you trade just 25. That's T-A-P-P. K-A-L-S-H-I, Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
You've pictured it. The garage door that finally makes your home look the way you want it to. And now get $500 back on a qualifying garage door with the Overhead Door Home Refresh rebate. Qualifying purchase must be made by September 30th. Let Overhead Door Company of Kansas City upgrade your curb appeal and get you up to $500 back. Schedule a free estimate at overheaddoorkc.com. Overheaddoorkc.com. Select models. Rebate paid as a Visa prepaid gift card. Restrictions apply. See website for full terms.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I'm focused on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD Plan to Decrease Property Taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Participation may vary.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Oh, hey, Sarah. Did you hear my daughter Katie got Camper of the Week?
That's a big deal.
We got a big deal too, right, Mom?
Honey, shh.
What's that?
Okay, that Hyundai Santa Fe, I only paid.
Nice.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or 1.9% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Tucson, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends August 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real brewed tea, goes down smooth, and an 8% kick of alcohol. Dial up the fun with Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
In a world parched for excitement, Twisted Tea's your refreshing thrill ride of flavor. The hard iced tea that's smooth, made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol. Twisted Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win Kansas City Chiefs scratch tickets. Plus, a chance for the grand prize Chiefs bundle, which includes a framed jersey and a signed photo. All thanks to our friends at the Kansas Lottery. Tune in to Cody and Gold starting at 10 as they broadcast live from Chiefs training camp with exclusive one-on-one interviews and real-time updates from practice. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
In Gold live in St. Joe, our training camp coverage presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Coming up in about 30 minutes, you'll hear our conversation we had exclusively with Kingsley Suamataia, already entering year number 3. Of course, year 2 as a left guard. We had a chance to catch up with him, talk about who he's noticed as an offensive lineman on the defensive side of the ball. He spoke highly about Peter Woods. You'll hear that coming up around 1:35 or so. And here in about, 5 minutes or so, we're going to hear from George Karlaftis, who spoke about that offensive line as well a little bit, and some of the young talent on the defensive line. Spoke highly about Felix and Udike-Uzama, so that's coming up in just a bit. A couple of injuries, though, Cody, in the NFL today. Just something to keep an eye on. Mike Evans, who was a free agent wide receiver that we at one point talked about here, and now even more emphasis on him out with San Francisco with the injury to Ricky Pearsall. He's dealing with a quad strain, I think I just saw.
Oh, boy.
San
Francisco in that.
Yeah, Mike Evans, though, I feel like Mike Evans always has like this hamstring or quad problem or something like that.
We can't blame the substation on that one?
Not this one. And it's
fine.
It's early in camp, but yeah, Mike Evans, quad strain, not practicing. And then I did see a few other injury notes in the NFL today. The edge rusher for the 49ers, Cody, Kamara, diagnosed with a torn ACL. Now he's further down the depth chart, but that's another injury for the Niners.
And the Bears lost their new safety, right? The guy, Kobe Bryant.
Yes. Yeah, now there's some reports. I thought I saw that.
Signed?
I thought I
Kobe
saw
Bryant?
some reports suggesting it wasn't as serious, but
Okay.
maybe that's not the case. But
I know he at least left
he did
practice
leave.
with a knee injury.
Yep. And then A.J. Brown dislocated his thumb. Did finish practice, though, but A.J. Brown, of course, with the New England Patriots now. Those are some injuries that happened at training camp today.
That conversation around the 49ers practice facility will never end.
Oh, no.
I don't think it will ever end.
No. Because they're the most injured team in the league. It's that or fire. Like, you've
It's
got to get a
every
different
year.
medical staff or something. How is it, like, either something's going on, as in that substation is really causing injuries, or your medical staff is the worst in football. So I would do something
or they
about
have the
that.
worst luck known to man at this rate.
But, like, how could, like, forever? Just every year for a decade?
really
That's
is
not how
every year.
luck works.
Yeah.
Luck doesn't work where it's just, like, you're just unlucky every year. That or at some point. Like, it's a little bit, some of it admittedly is what Alex and I were talking about, like Cole Reagans or Chris Bubich, which is, well, Mike Evans has been hurt. And Kittle's got a history of injuries. And McCaffrey has a history of injuries. It's like, some of it is just, you have oft-injured players on your roster. So, yeah, they get hurt. You know, it's not a surprising thing, I guess.
A player that we didn't know at the time was hurt. We found out after the season that he had a broken hand was George Karlaftis. Maybe that impacted his performance. He was at the podium after practice today. Here's what he had to say about this defensive line, and he spoke about Felix and Udike-Uzama as well.
Different intensity when the pads come on for the first time. I mean, definitely. You know, just it's as real as we're going to get. You know, to as close to the game as we're going to get. So definitely, I would say.
George, we got a close look at Mason Thomas and Peter Woods today. What have you seen with their development? Do you see them making an instant impact?
I would say those guys have a lot of humility. They're trying to do stuff the right way. They're approaching it as professionals. They're working hard, and you could tell they love football. That coupled with their natural raw abilities and their willingness to take coaching and to get better, I think they're going to both be great players and great additions to this team.
George, what's the difficulty of going up against Josh?
Josh is a great player. Obviously had a great season last year. So was out a few games and stuff like that. But he's a great player. Obviously he's strong as an ox and he's got feet like a ballerina. So he's very good and very talented. We've had our battles and we've talked, and iron sharpens iron. So this is what this period is for. Is for getting better. Trying to go a little more on that side, to take my game to the next level. And, just talking, just not just him and I, but, really all the O-line and the D-line, I'm sure the other positions are doing that too, talking and figuring out, okay, maybe I'm seeing this, maybe I'm seeing that, and just, ultimately trying to get better in every way we can. That's what this period's about.
George, you talked about before when you came into the league, it was Frank Clark who, kind of took you under his wing, and you got a bunch of young guys.
We got a lot of young guys.
Yeah, who are you kind of mentoring right now? Really,
there's a whole lot of guys, and they all. It's funny, like after these practices, they'll all go straight to the iPads. That's what I used to do too. So it's kind of funny looking back on it. But they go to the iPads, watch the tape. And they'll come up to me. They'll come up to Chris. Like, okay, hey, what do you think about this rep? What do you think I could do better? And those guys they're hungry. They're hungry for knowledge, hungry to get better. We've developed a routine after practice with Coach Braden of doing these hands, to really, and then doing them every single day so we can stack and really doing stuff that we can apply to our games. So doing that on the field, coupled with all the conversations we'll have in the meeting rooms, outside of the meetings and stuff like that. All those guys are just so hungry and they want to get better and they want to be great and they love ball. So love having those guys around. They're all great additions.
You kind of blew us up from some of the things Frank told you to kind of give them?
For sure. I've been fortunate to have a lot of great older guys around me. Now it's like I'm the older guy in the D line room. It's kind of like, whoa, because I had Frank and I had Carlos and then guys like Mike Dana and Charles O'Menahue, and we've had a lot of great guys throughout the year. So taking from what I've learned from all of those guys, trying to make it, and lead in my own different way, and trying to teach these guys, all right, this is what I do well, and this is what I think I could help you with, and and also trying to learn from them too, because everybody has their own different skill sets. So just trying to help in any way I can. But yeah, I definitely taken a lot of the lessons I learned from Frank and Carlos. Actually today, there was a couple things that some of the rookies were asking me. I was like, yeah, Carlos taught me that, so.
How's your hand recovered after going through that
hands great.
surgery?
Hands great.
George, with Ashton down, Felix has got more opportunities. I guess what has told you that maybe he can make an impact here?
Well, Felix is going. Felix is humming. He worked really, really hard this offseason. He and I got together a few times. He really wants it. This is he's feeling like this is his chance. This is his moment. He's got a lot to prove and he knows it. So he's doing everything he can to improve every single day and show, not just Kansas City but the whole league what he's got and what he's made of.
When you say get together a few times, like you got together in the field together to work.
Yeah, in the offseason. Yeah.
Last one name.
When it comes to the entire group, George, from your perspective, what intrigues you most? I know it's just day one and past, but about the potential of what the group could be this season.
I think I like that question because I think, and Coach Reed will speak about this too, I'm sure. But this year is all about mindset and mentality for us. Our group we feel like it starts with our group. It starts up front. And on defense, we can take this defense wherever we want as a front. Stopping the run, helping the guys at the back. So really starting with us and really putting the focus on handling everything we need to make it easier on the linebackers, easier on the DBs, so we can have the best season possible. We want to get back to the promised land. We want to get back to getting all those sacks. We want to stop the run as well as we can, and we're motivated as ever.
So that was George Karlaftis,
He does use that word a lot, although I'm guilty of, as we all are, comfort phrases.
For sure.
He is an important player this year without question because he's their only legitimate day one edge rusher we know will at least produce to a certain level. How about that? Maybe there's a hidden level in him. Maybe there's a hidden level in some other guys. He's the only day one edge producer we know will at least put up some numbers. Sack somebody. Get to the quarterback occasionally. And last year, the moves they made in the defensive line, bringing back Dana, bringing back a Minihue, they all stunk. They whiffed. They whiffed on every help they tried to get on the defensive line. And because of that, it was pretty painfully obvious how much they struggled getting to the quarterback. They need more sacks.
Of course they do, and I do think the hand injury, we learn after the fact, had to have had some impact, to say the least.
I already pointed out he had one sack
Yeah.
after the hand injury. Mm-hmm. All of the remaining sacks he had for the season were before it, so of course it did.
So, that should give you some hope if you're saying, how does he bounce back to being closer to an 8.5+ sack guy? Well, I think health, with a lot, it seems obvious, but health for him is a big thing. And someone we're going to talk more about tomorrow, you heard him praise Peter Woods. If the interior of this defensive line is able to blow up plays, well, there might be some gimme sacks even coming for George Karlaftis and forcing the quarterback outside and he runs right into a sack, that kind of stuff. That's how all of a sudden he gets back to being even a double-digit sack guy.
But Nate had mentioned this, and I don't want to overlook it because of the way he was talking about it. This is the part that maybe gets undersold about some of this. They had to play George Karlaftis too much last year. And he said that's probably why he got hurt. And look, he could have gotten hurt on the same number of snaps as he had the year before. Not to say it didn't work that way, but you are more likely to get hurt, it turns out, if you play more. Which means the guys like R. Mason Thomas, Ashton Gelati, Omar Norman Lott, I don't care if it's Chris Jones on the outside, they do need those guys to take some of the burden off of George Karlaftis so they don't feel this inherent need to play him the amount they played him. Over the last 2 years, he has played 83 and 78% of the defensive snaps. The previous 2 years, even though he's a good player as a rookie, 64 and 75. So now 75 to 78, maybe you don't think that's a huge difference. 3% is not nothing for a guy you wouldn't mind getting on the field maybe a hair less. But he's available, and that matters. He's played in 16 or 17 games all 4 years he's been available. And so for a team that's had some injuries in those spots and on the defensive line, guy plays. Plays maybe too much, but he plays. By the way, for those the people who are really complaining about Cyrus Allen playing special teams, would you like to know that George Karlaftis, your starting defensive end, has played 70, 65, 65, and 68 special team snaps. Now, he mostly plays on the defensive line, but he still plays some. When you look at where he goes from here, though, he needs to get back to 8. 8 to 10. Is that crazy? 8 to 10?
No.
That seems like a reasonable request. I'm not asking him to get 15 and a half. I don't need him to be Max Crosby. Like just
him and Chris Jones, the average between the two needs to be,
20.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, they both need to, if you told me they both even had, I was going to say 9.5 sacks, that works.
Yeah, 16 to 20 is actually probably the real number. I need the two of them to get to between 16 and 20 sacks. Anything over 20, gravy. Are you kidding? Yeah. It went great, the upper end.
Coming up in about 15 minutes or so, you'll hear our conversation with Kingsley Suamataia, third-year offensive lineman for the Chiefs. He joined us right after practice today. We are going to be at practice tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. Sorry, I paused because there is some breaking news in Major League Baseball. According to Jeff Passan, the Dodgers are acquiring left-handed pitcher Chris Bubich in a trade with the Royals. It doesn't say what they got. It just says they're
trading Chris Bubich.
So, after all, they found a way to trade Bubich despite the fact that he hasn't been healthy in a bit. So was he about ready to get healthy? Because you trade an injured player. Was he about to get cleared?
I mean, probably. Is he coming out of the bullpen for them?
But good.
They shouldn't need a starting pitcher, but that makes sense.
Chris Bubich has an expiring contract. He can't stay healthy. You need to get something for him. I'm glad to see that actually is happening, even without seeing the return yet. So
no, the return almost doesn't matter. He was on an expiring contract.
Good.
And you and I weren't even sure if he was going to pitch. Is there a return you would dislike on that trade? I mean, genuinely.
No, it doesn't. No, because he's gone in 2 months. The rest of the season,
there isn't a return I dislike.
It's about having a chance at getting something for the future. A chance for a guy that's not back next year. Hell, technically, there's a scenario you could still bring him back next year, Cody. If you really wanted to, you could trade him and always sign him. Same with Lane Thomas. If you really love him that much, you can bring back Lane Thomas next year if you really think you need to.
Congrats, Chris Bubich, future World Series winner.
Yeah,
he's going to the Dodgers.
So.
I mean, at least
almost can pencil it in, or you can pencil it in.
Look,
second
truthfully,
trade of the deadline for the Royals.
Second trade, and I'm not trying to make this seem like there's nothing in here at all, but what I'm telling you is there is no return, which we'll get here in a minute. then I am going to disagree with it. He is on an expiring contract. He hasn't pitched for you all year. The team's not going to the playoffs. What am I holding on to Chris Bubic for? What is the angle? At least with Lynch or Lang or Walker or Lugo, there's additional years of control. If they are on an expiring contract, they do not need to be on this roster if there is a team that will take him. That's just the reality of it. Because as you've pointed out, and the Royals have done before, you can trade away Chris Bubic. And if you're still a big Chris Bubic believer, great news. He can still be a member of the Royals next season. You can be the biggest bidder in free agency. Now maybe it makes it a little harder because he's not sitting around with you the rest of the year. Or maybe it makes it a little easier because you did right by the man. And you let him go pitch for a World Series contending team in the middle of a season that he hasn't regularly been a part of.
Yeah, he'll be a bullpen guy for them, I'm guessing.
That is my best guess.
He's probably going to be a bullpen guy
He's
for the Dodgers.
plenty good at the bullpen for the Royals. No reason to think that wouldn't work if he can stay healthy. Right? Yeah. They don't need another person.
I wonder if the Dodgers, by the way, because of now what they have with the Skubal trade, and obviously Bubic is maybe a bullpen arm, but mainly it's Skubal. Do you think they just rest Shohei the rest of the way? He's banged up. Do you think they just rest him and make sure he's ready to go for the playoffs in the World Series?
They might.
Might as well just hit fast forward. They're going to be, at very least, in the World Series.
I will say, it is surprising to me. I didn't know if there'd be a market for Chris Bubic, and second, I didn't know if they'd be able to find I didn't think they'd trade him, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Did you expect this? But this probably does mean Shohei's going to get shut down in some capacity. He's been hurt all year. They can save him for the playoffs. The check cashes either way for Shohei. So you rest, be a little more careful, be safe. Maybe Chris Bubic makes a spot start for you, maybe not. At least in that end, you can protect yourself a little bit. But yeah, according to Jeff Passan, if you're just tuning in, the Dodgers have traded for Royals lefty Chris Bubic. We're still awaiting the return for what he got. But
look, it's not going to be a huge haul or anything. But
no,
we'll be curious to see what it is, though.
But yeah, I am curious to see. I very much want to know what the return is. They are getting right-handed pitcher Carlos Duran for him. So time to hit the old Google. Tell me what Carlos Duran has done.
Carlos Duran is a 25-year-old AAA 6'7", 230 pitcher with a 3.38 ERA this year in 42 2/3 of an inning.
Okay, so their two trades have been to fix their bullpen next year so far. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah, I think so. 6'7", 230.
It's a tall man. Where does he rank in their prospect list?
I'm looking right now.
I don't think he's a ranked prospect.
And he's not in there.
Usually at that age in AAA, probably not. But
he might be in the bullpen next week.
I said both guys should be in the bullpen.
He might be in the. They may make a corresponding move where he's in the bullpen this weekend or this week against the Twins or whatever.
Look, is it a haul? No. Do they have to fix their entire bullpen in a single offseason? Yes. Two of the trades they've made for both Lane Thomas and now Chris Bubic away from the team are for two AAA relievers. I assume they have intent to put in their regular big league bullpen. And honestly, should put them in right now. You know why? Find out if they're any good immediately. There is no reason for the final 50 games of this season to not find out whether or not those guys are sixth-inning guys, seventh-inning guys, have stuff, can get outs, because no one in their bullpen right now can. And there's absolutely zero excuse. Is this some haul for Chris Bubic? He's injured. The Dodgers might be trading for a player. I don't even know when he's scheduled to come back from the injured list. Do you?
No.
Chris Bubic injury? I mean, I'll ask J.J. Piccolo, who will join us tomorrow, by the way, on the show, when he's supposed to. But as of July 19th, this is an article up at one of the aggregate sites, Kingsley Kaufman. Let's see. Scratched July 1st with shoulder soreness. Received a cortisone shot on July 2nd. Could begin or did begin a new throwing program in late July. I don't even know if he's actually started that. I mean, so there's not even a timeline for return for him right now.
No, they got something. They have a chance to get somebody that can maybe help them in the bullpen. It's
next year. Maybe this year.
Chris Bubic is not on this team at the end of the season anyway, so I don't know why anybody would be upset with Chris Bubic being traded. I'm actually glad to see that happen. That's the second move. We'll see if they have another on the way.
But yeah, he's a 25-year-old in AAA.
Someone says
61 strikeouts and 42 2/3. I don't hate that.
Someone did not look at the full stat sheet for the guy they traded. Someone says he has an 81 ERA. Yeah, in the big leagues he's got a third of an inning pitched, and and so his ERA is 81.
It didn't go great for Carlos Duran?
Yeah, he is a third of an inning pitch, okay? I don't think they're worried about that part of it.
The Dodgers just wrote him off? Was it for the Dodgers, his major league? No, it's for the A's.
He got signed by the Dodgers this year, didn't he?
Yeah. So he just, look, Dodgers didn't give up anything for him. He does have 1/3 of an inning, and he gave up 3 runs in that one.
Look at his AAA numbers this year. That's
They're trying to fix the entire bullpen. If they want to take a guy in an expiring contract and just see if he's any good, I don't see an issue here.
He has a 3.38 this year. Pitched in 37 games.
Look,
it's Chris Bubich. He's unavailable.
2 starts.
Chris Bubich, it's not even just his injury history. His contract is expiring, so who cares? Who cares?
I won't say the strikeout numbers are good. Someone says he was a starter until last year. Great. Former starter, now bullpen arm. Come on in.
By the way,
Carlos.
I know we're bouncing around all over the place here with different breaking news happening. Just this one, just only because you brought his name up. Adam Schefter does say Bears safety Kobe Bryant is expected to be sidelined 8 to 10 weeks.
Oh.
Due to a hyperextended knee, bone bruise, and small fracture.
So he'll be gone for the first month of the season-ish?
Yeah.
Maybe more. Could be the end of October. That does stick. That was a big signing for them. That was like a much-needed help on defense. They're not going to have him on there. So, fair enough. By the way, Carlos Duran does have 5+ years of control as well. So that makes
you
him
take a flyer on him. Who cares?
Yeah. He should be in the bullpen tonight.
Yeah, truly, it doesn't
Is
matter.
he available to be in the bullpen tonight? At the very least tomorrow.
The
latest tomorrow.
The Royals are off today, aren't they?
Fine.
So.
At the latest tomorrow.
They open a series against the Twins tomorrow.
His ass better be in Minneapolis.
Oh, he should be. No, absolutely.
Get on the plane.
Why not?
DFA or do whatever you got to do to make some room. Yeah. And his ass should be playing. He might be the 8th inning guy tomorrow. The bullpen can't get an out.
I would love that.
Okay. Well, good job.
We'll see if there's another trade.
Chris Bubich, I thought he was the goods too. Honestly, if he'd stayed healthy, maybe it would have been.
He had one All-Star season.
Yeah, he did.
And the Dodgers are trading for every pitcher possible.
Yeah.
Up next, let's get to what's trending. I know we were going to talk about Infantino and FIFA's plan backfiring, but obviously the breaking news there, the Royals have traded Chris Bubich to the L.A. Dodgers. Let's get to what's trending, plus our conversation with Kingsley Suamataia next.
What's up, KC? It's Carter Jensen. You're listening to Cody and Gold on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Kansas City is buzzing this summer, and the excitement keeps rolling into August at the Advent Health Championship, Kansas City's only professional golf tournament, August 20th through 23rd at Blue Hills Country Club. Watch the next generation of PGA Tour stars compete for their shot at the big stage. Follow your favorite player, enjoy the action from greenside, or upgrade to an all-inclusive hospitality experience. With tickets starting at just $10, there's something for everyone. Keep your summer going. Get your tickets today at AdventHealthChampionship.com.
Meet Taylor Burks, the woke liberal play-acting Republican to run for Congress. Burks bankrolled and praised a never-Trumper, then attacked President Trump and his supporters. Burks' PAC even endorsed a Democrat who backed Hillary Clinton for president. Never Trump money, Democrat endorsement, liberal applause. And while serving on the board of Truman State University, Taylor Burks oversaw the school's transition into a cesspool of woke garbage. Under his watch, a performance of the vulgar vagina monologues, mocking conservative values, and a pride exchange closet, providing new clothes after sex changes, the go-to boutique for trans students looking for a wardrobe tailored to them. Woke Taylor Burks, a bad fit fit for Missouri. The two-faced liberal phony we can't trust. Win It Backpack is responsible for the content of this ad. Paid for by Win It Backpack. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. WinItBackpack.com.
In Kansas City, some traditions never go out of style. Since 1919, Dixon's Famous Chili has been serving its legendary recipe to generations of loyal customers, including President Harry S. Truman, who called Dixon's his favorite. More than 100 years later, they're still serving the same great taste with the same commitment to quality. Stop in for their famous Build Your Own Chili. All-you-can-eat tacos every day, or let Dixon's cater your next event. Whether it's your first visit or your 100th, you'll taste a true Kansas City tradition. Dixon's Famous Chili, proudly serving Kansas City since 1919.
When shopping for a new auto insurance policy, AAA could help you customize your coverage to fit your unique needs and budget. Trust AAA Auto Insurance to help you find the balance that works for you. See how a simple switch could make a big difference. AAA, we're always with you. Visit AAA.com/insurance. Insurance provided to qualified AAA members by Automobile Club Inter-Insurance Exchange and AAA affiliate insurers. Membership requires a separate payment.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane, third-generation owner at Shane Company. As a family jeweler for almost 100 years, we're known for doing right by our customers. Our legacy of integrity depends on it. We stand behind our engagement rings with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds, then negotiate for the best price. At Shane Company, we put you first because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
You work hard, you pay your bills, but with credit cards, higher gas and grocery prices, you're making the payments, but not getting ahead. This is James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak Lending. Golden Oak can help you refinance, consolidate bills, and free up monthly cash flow. Call today for a free mortgage checkup. There's never a charge to talk with us.
Golden Oak Lending, cured my blues.
NMLS 114937. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the last 2 minutes of a televised football game,
there's another timeout. We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate, or BPH, could be the cause. And Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Hey, it's Brew. Between my radio show, filming content, editing videos, and trying to stay connected with family, reliable Wi-Fi isn't really optional anymore. I just need it to work. That's why I like that with Xfinity, you get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years. Guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, Xfinity makes getting connected simple with same-day Wi-Fi so you can get online in minutes. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Hi, thanks for calling Uline.
Wait, did the phone even ring?
Nope.
Okay, so you answered before the ring. But now you're going to put me on hold, right?
We don't do that here. We're real people answering the phone. Ready to help with your order when you are.
Uline has thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline, we warehouse for you.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Royals coverage is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City.
Brought to you by Blue KC is the Coaches with Character program. Do you know a rock star high school coach in your district? Nominate them for the Blue KC Coaches with Character program at bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character. Let's make our coaches feel special and make our community a better place to live, work, and play.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on what's trending, the Royals just made a trade in the last 15 minutes or so. According to Jeff Pass, the Royals have traded Chris Bubic to the Los Angeles Dodgers for 25-year-old relief pitcher Carlos Duran. He's currently in AAA with the Dodgers with a 3.38 ERA and 42 2/3 of an inning, has plenty of years of control, has one very brief stint in the big leagues, if you want to call it a stint, with the A's last year, 2 years ago. He has a third of an inning pitched. He gave up a bunch of runs, so he has an 81 ERA.
Former starter turned reliever.
Yeah, he's somebody that immediately should be in their bullpen and maybe provides a bullpen piece moving forward. But look, Chris Bubic's contract was expiring. He hasn't pitched for you in over a month because he's hurt.
Longer than that, yeah. He came back and was hurt before that, whatever it's been. He tried to come back and then got hurt. So this is a no-brainer deal. He has the fourth most strikeouts in that league, but he also has a very high walk rate, is what I saw. He walks nearly 14 or nearly 15% of all hitters, so he throws hard, he is tall, they just got to get that command.
6'7", 230.
Next up on What's Trending, first padded practice up here in St. Joe. There were a lot of missing pieces, though. Mansour Delane was in the yellow jersey. Rasheed Rice was at practice in pads, had maybe a snap in 11-on-11s, played a little in 7-on-7s, but not totally available. No Xavier Worthy, no Cyrus Allen, no Omar Norman-Lott, and no Ashton Gelati participating. So a lot of missing elements, but we did get our first padded practice. Other than that, everybody got out healthy. Those are injuries that we knew about from over the weekend, of course. Cyrus Allen and Xavier Worthy. Andy Reid had said a couple of practices for those guys, just make sure that they're okay. Didn't make either seem long-term.
News that's now official that was reported last week from The Athletic. Mauricio Pochettino and U.S. Soccer have agreed to a new contract, keeping him as the U.S. men's national team head coach through the 2030 World Cup. This was expected. I think it's a good sign for the U.S. men's national team program moving forward, but he has committed to them for another cycle of World Cup.
Next up on What's Trending, let me give you the run of all the other trades at the MLB trade deadline. The Tampa Bay Rays are getting catcher Liam Hicks from the Miami Marlins. I do like that trade, by the way, for them. The Padres are acquiring Robbie Ray from the Giants. Some of the bigger ones, Taylor Ward heading to the Baltimore Orioles. And the Philadelphia Phillies won the Luis Arias sweepstakes. They'll be acquiring him from the Giants. Also, Joe Adell's heading to the Guardians in the division. That's a name. I mentioned that because that's a name Royals fans have mentioned a long time. And
him and Taylor Ward, right? Him and Taylor Ward.
Both. Because they need outfield help for so long. That's what's so infuriating. It's like it's worked in right field, all this talk, and Cags has been the least of their problems. If anything, it's gone to plan.
Elsewhere, news in the NFL, injuries piling up today. Bears safety Kobe Bryant expected to be sidelined 8 to 10 weeks due to a hyperextended knee, bone bruise, and small fracture that he suffered at practice, although Adam Schefter says no surgery is expected to be needed. Also, Mike Evans did not practice today, dealing with a quad strain for the San Francisco 49ers.
I saw A.J. Brown dislocated his thumb but finished practice.
Yeah, he had 4 catches at practice still.
So, honestly, stupid.
He's got that dog in him.
I guess. He does for the team for 1 year. For 12 months, he's got that dog in him, and then he's got that scapegoat. Then he wants out. Maybe 2 years. I'll take it back on A.J. Brown. He's usually got 2 years of behaving, right? Before he starts asking out?
That is what's trending. Sorry, I just keep an eye on some other MLB news as well.
Making sure the Royals didn't trade somebody else?
Just the Padres are final. Did you mention the Padres final?
Yeah, with Robbie Ray?
Yeah, the Robbie Ray. That one I just saw pop up on mine. And then the White Sox are still reportedly looking for help behind the plate and hoping to add a catcher in the next 3.5 hours. Tyler Stevenson is a name that they're keeping an eye on with the Cincinnati Reds. But deadline 3.5 hours from now. We'll see if the Royals make another move. It'd be weird to me. Like, I know Daniel Lynch has control, but like you trade Bubic, like I don't know, Daniel Lynch, what can you get for him? What can you get for
More
him?
than Carlos Duran.
What can you get for Alex Lang? Obviously, the big question is Walker and Lugo. If there's at this point, I would call it a surprise trade of either before the deadline.
Yeah, I agree. At this point, any other move the Royals make would surprise me. Although the Chris Bubic one surprised me. I didn't think there'd be a market.
Our training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. After practice today, we were joined exclusively by Chiefs left guard Kingsley Suamataia. We started our conversation just talking about it already being year 3 for him. Talked to you after your rookie year. We've talked to you after last season. I was just telling Cody, my co-host here, I can't believe it's already year 3 for you, man.
I know, it's crazy. Time really flies when you're out here with the boys and grinding. So it's been great.
Do you feel like, okay, you're drafted. Obviously, you switch positions. Do you feel like now you're almost – I feel like flying under the radar a little bit. Like you're just solid. You're locked in there at left guard.
For sure. Just keeping my head down, working. It's been great. It is my third year. It's been a blessing. But yeah, it's been great with the boys.
I think we talk about it from like a media perspective, which is like the best offensive linemen are the ones you just don't see at all. Is that how it's coached? Like if they're not noticing you on the field, normally we view that as a good thing. Oh, I didn't see Kingsley today. That must mean good things.
Man, I just keep my head down, keep working, and it's just grinding out here every day.
It's hot, by the way. Do you? I guess as like an offensive lineman, do you guys have to prep differently to be out here in like the normal practice heat than anyone else?
Nah, everyone's grinding out here. The weather hasn't been too bad. It's been pretty chill the past few days and the past few years that I've been here. So it's been good.
Actual pads on today though. Like we were just like now it feels. You're nodding your head. Is this what you like?
Man, this is what we live in. We grind for every day. So it was definitely fun out there banging heads with the defense. But like Drew said, iron sharpens iron when we were in the 9-on-7. So it's been going great.
Who do you enjoy going up against right now? I know I want to ask you about a couple of the new guys, but who did you have a good battle with maybe today?
Chris, obviously. Chris is a future Hall of Famer, so it's a blessing to go against him every day. One of arguably the best D tackle in the league. And then Peter, man, he's on the rise. He's a twitchy guy, explosive, high motor. So it's been some really good work to go against both of them.
When you look at, I guess, a guy like, how does Peter Wood's strength compare to like Chris Jones?
They're right up there, man.
Same?
Yeah, they're strong human beings. Even Kyrus out there, man. You got to really get low to dig them out of the ball. So it's been good.
How long did it take you to get comfortable at guard versus tackle? You spent a lot of time at tackle in your career. How long did it take you to be like, okay, I understand what my job is in this role?
Kind of when I just got thrown in there. My first year when we played the Denver Broncos, week 17 or something, 16, one of those. But yeah, I kind of just fell in love with it. This is my second year playing guard, so I kind of feel like a rookie at the same time, but not really because it's my third year here. So just being able to fly off the ball and play fast.
What's the biggest difference between that and tackle?
Just it's a lot faster. Everything happens a lot faster. They're right in front of your face. But just being able to see the field, even having with younger tackles out there, so just being able to communicate with them out there.
We're talking to Kingsley Suamataia here on 96.5 The Fan. You mentioned the tackles. We're all keeping an eye on the right tackle. Of course, Jalen Moore out there with first team. You got the undrafted rookie at Indiana, Khalil Benson, getting some reps as well. What have you seen from Benson? He's obviously a new name for Chiefs fans.
For sure, man. He's under the radar guy. He came in and he's working. But it's great having competition. I'm competing for my job each and every day. Trey is, but it's great having competition between everybody out there. So Jalen's out there, Essa's out there, everybody's grinding out there. So it's been going great.
What kind of things do you do in the off season? We try to scour social media for everybody, but where do you spend your time in the off season? What kind of things do you get into?
I was just in Utah, just at home, hanging out with my family, with my sisters. And just get my mind right for this big year for me and the team.
I noticed. Did you just go to the car dealership and say, "Give me the biggest possible truck"? I noticed you have a brand new Ford F-350, and it looks amazing. But we were joking. Like, did you just walk in and say, "I need the biggest possible truck"?
No, man, I don't want to get emotional, but like my family, my pops, my moms. They work hard every day, and I'm humbly and blessed to be able to give back to my pops. We've been driving those four wheels until they break. So it was time for them to get a new car. And
that was for them?
Yeah, it was for my dad.
How awesome is that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did he request a certain car, or did you just
that's been my dad's
you surprise him?
No, that's been my dad's dream car since I was a kid. So it was very humbling and blessed to be able to get him his dream car. So
did your mom get one too?
Mom's is on the way.
Okay. What kind of, does she know what she's getting already? I don't want to spoil the surprise.
No, I can't. I got to keep it under wraps.
Okay.
Something special with mom. Something special.
All right. Very cool. Very cool.
It'll get back to her, won't it?
For sure.
For some reason we let it out. We'll keep that quiet at least on the other end. We talked a lot about especially I know family's important for you, and we talked about it a lot with Simmons and stuff last year. I guess just how you grew up or that side of it, how much, I guess, does that impact your football playing or going back home or this part? Like, how do you incorporate that into, your career now?
Just keeping the family tight, keeping the circle small. I'm not a big, like you guys said, on the social media, not much to find. I'm not really a big social media guy, but just very under the radar. But bringing it into the football aspect, the O-line's very close. Yes, Josh had his things last year, but just keeping each other close, whether we're checking on each other, where we're going out to eat, whether we're hanging out in the dorms, whatever it is it takes to just keep that bond close so we're all on the same page.
I know George Karloftis has hosted like a dinner for stuff. Did the offensive lineman? Does somebody host? Does Creed host? Does somebody host?
We do have an O-line dinner. We didn't have one at a house yet, but we just go out to eat and at whatever restaurant they choose. So
okay, you let them choose. You don't make a suggestion.
I still got no say. I'm still kind of a rook. But
eventually, you'll get that, I guess. What's the? You mentioned not social media, but is there a TV show, movie? What are you going to see the new Spider-Man at some point?
Who are you listening to?
You get into any of that stuff?
I don't really watch movies and stuff like that. But I would say I'm a big YouTube guy, so I'll be searching up like how to build a shower or something, or how to build a what's those things called in the backyard? The tree houses.
Oh, like a tree house?
Yeah, I've been diving deep into just building stuff.
Have you built one?
I have not. I have built a shower in Hawaii before, but
oh wow,
yeah, from the ground up.
So you like to, I guess, keep your handy then?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite YouTuber then?
My favorite YouTuber overall is going to be it's called Ball Is Life. They have like a series of just one-on-one basketball, and yeah, I've been watching that. So.
I imagine you were a pretty tough basketball player in your day.
I was all right. Baby Shaq. That's good.
on the O-line, though, are you the best basketball player on the O-line? Who's challenging you maybe?
I'll have to say Ethan Driscoll is up there, and Esa Pole, because I was his first sport. So those two are my list.
Okay.
Sure.
So Esa can still play.
Oh, for sure.
We've got Kingsley Suamataia joining us here on 96.5 The Fan. I don't know if you've ever gotten to sports cards or not, but we're opening some packs with every player. So our friends over at Artist Sports gave us some top football. So let's get you a pack. Let's see what we got here. We'll see. We have yet to get anything good. We've opened three or four different players so far. Well, at some point, we're supposed to get maybe an auto, but we'll see. So let's see what you got.
Get anything good.
Right.
So, Coach, do I need to crack it for you at least?
I think I got some color on mine though here, Cody. Okay. So that means we might have got something good on mine. I'll let Kingsley have.
I like that you got an offensive
too.
lineman right away.
Ooh.
All right, so I'll let you go through both stacks. Here.
Okay.
Yeah, go through both stacks. Tell us what you got.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. My stomach is low key cramping. So.
Okay. We'll finish up quick.
I will read this off. Tatanu, Nolan.
Bet you never had this on
Kittle.
the podcast before.
No, we haven't. Kenneth Grant, Tyson Bagent, Quinn Nelson in the green, Cody. Joe Burrow out of 99, Drew. Ooh. Our producer is a Cincinnati fan, unfortunately, so we'll give him a hard time. I think that might be our best card we pulled so far,
I
Cody.
think so. I got an insert Justin Jefferson, but other than that, other than Chris Jones, by the way, I asked this when we look at the cards. Who's the toughest guy you go against on the defensive line? Then we're going to let you out of here. Not on your own team.
Oh, not on my own team that I've gone against?
Yep.
I would have to say Dexter Lawrence. Lawrence for sure. That was a big chin check early on in my career with guard, having to block him. So, yeah.
All right, so that was Kingsley Suamataia joining us earlier today, dealing with some stomach cramps towards the end of the interview. Don't forget, when we have a player join us here from Chiefs Training Camp, it is brought to you by St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com.
Another trade in baseball. Jeff Passan reporting the Boston Red Sox are acquiring three-time All-Star catcher Adley Rutschman in a trade with the Baltimore Orioles. Sources tell ESPN. That's not surprising because there was rumor of it earlier in the day. They also they have another catcher. They'd fallen out of love with Adley Rutschman. If you remember, there was a huge debate, 1-2, Rutschman, Bobby Witt Jr. The reason why Rutschman always stands out to me is they chose Adley Rutschman. They chose Adley Rutschman, the catcher, instead of Bobby Witt Jr., the current shortstop. If I were an Orioles fan, that's got to go down as one of the biggest whiffs we've ever had. And it's not even to say Adley Rutschman is a bad baseball player.
No, but they've already
He's just not Bobby Witt Jr., and they've already moved on.
They drafted the Basallo kid or whatever, who's now their top prospect, who they gave an extension to, if I'm not mistaken, already too as well. So people thought Rutschman was going to get traded this past offseason.
Yeah,
in fact, he started the season with the Orioles still was somewhat a surprise. So
it was.
Now they're trading in division. That's a rare in-division trade. I know it's not the same.
The Orioles are I guess
baseball's a little bit different with that than the NFL. But
but it's still it always feels kind of weird. White Sox reportedly looking for catching. This goes back to, I'll ask JJ tomorrow, although I know he has a full no-trade clause and he was never going to ask to be traded. You realize there have been 7 catcher trades, right? Mm-hmm. Every team in contention needs a catcher. And the Royals, sitting on maybe a future Hall of Fame one, But he has a full no-trade clause, and he doesn't want to go anywhere. And he's a statue guy for their franchise, and is, they're never going to be all that willing. And it would have been a difficult thing, too. I'm just pointing out that there probably was a market if you were interested in moving him and he was interested in leaving. They've just never shown any indication of that.
I'm curious. So I'm looking at the 2019 draft. Let's just have fun for a second. If the Orioles take Bobby Witt, who do the Royals take second?
Adley Rutschman. I know, as someone who was talking to the organization at that time, they 1,000% would have taken Adley Rutschman.
That's what I was wondering, because they already obviously had Salvi, or would they go C.J. Abrams, Riley Green, or Andrew Vaughn?
They liked
somebody like that, yeah.
So they liked C.J. Abrams, but at that time I was pretty well convinced that they would have taken Adley Rutschman. There was some people suggesting they might have taken Adley Rutschman if they were picking one, and that Bobby. Now look, who knows? I'm sure they'd never say that now, and Bobby Jr.'s a star, so who cares? That could have been also a smokescreen for all I know, Drew. It's been too many years now since I had those conversations.
I was just curious.
It actually is kind of curious. I don't know if JJ would answer that question. I actually am kind of curious. Go back to 2019, because Adley Rutschman just got traded. Had they taken Bobby Wood Jr., do you know who was number 2 on your board? Who was number 2?
Yeah,
was it Rutschman?
Was it
C.J. Abrams? It's just a fun conversation. That's all. I don't know.
You probably want to answer it now.
The answer you should just say is,
we didn't have a 2. It was Bobby Witt.
Yeah, of course.
Which, look,
someone's blaming you anyway, Cody, for the interview. They said,
hell, I do.
Someone says the stomach cramps hurt for practice, not Cody's cooking, right?
No,
yeah, Kingsley has not had any of Cody's food, thank goodness.
Correct. And also, that was one time Nick got sick, and we all got sick. My kids got sick. I don't know how many times I got to point out that Chipino didn't make anyone sick. We're all fine. Of course, maybe whatever that virus is it still going around? We still got to worry about it?
Two people passed away, I think, in Michigan or whatever from it.
Oh, man.
I think
it's been that bad. I've avoided lettuce at all costs, any kind of lettuce.
I've still, I'll be honest, I have not changed my avoidance of lettuce or anything.
I've been finding other vegetables.
Really? Oh, I've had tacos with lettuce on it.
No, lettuce has been out the game for
I had
a while.
a Caesar salad with lettuce.
So help me, the way you're talking like this arrogance.
Yeah.
If you come down with
there's certain restaurants.
I'm not gonna feel bad for you. Hey man, I gotta miss the show because I'm blowing my toilet into pieces. I'm well, yeah, you've been eating lettuce this whole time.
No, but look, there's a Mexican restaurant I go to that literally has a sign on the door and it says it's from their provider that they are not basically clearing.
Not lettuce from this place. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're good.
But you say you're just getting it everywhere.
Yeah, but
you're just blindly getting lettuce.
I'm not going and having just iceberg lettuce wraps all day, Yeah. But if it happens to have lettuce, I'm not avoiding it. Where was I at recently? Where I was at for my dad's birthday was a couple weeks back. We went to Hibachi or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
And they give you the soup, but you can also have the ginger salad, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
And everybody me and my brother-in-law had the salad, but everybody else said no. I can eat this. Why would I not eat the salad?
Oh, you're just playing with fire.
No,
I agree.
I think you're
I'm
playing
avoiding
with fire.
any lettuce at all costs. It doesn't matter.
I'm starting to
you actually truly you are a no lettuce for how long?
I have not been lettuce since that outbreak.
Until they
I'm not saying forever. I put cilantro in a dish the other day, even though that was one of the risky vegetables. I'm slowly working it.
Risky vegetables.
I'm slowly working it back in, but for a while I was going off. I was I'm farmers marketing it. Okay. I gotta go to the source. Okay. I need to know it came from the dirt around here. I'm going, Drew. I don't want that.
Yeah,
I don't want whatever that has to offer. I'm not looking to be down for 3 days bad.
Text line said they just came back from Table Rock Lake. They saw so many people eating salads.
I'm staying away from it until they say that
people
it's
eat salads at all the restaurants.
I'm struggling with it, but I'm not doing that.
All the restaurants eat salads.
By the way, tomorrow we're going to get to it. I have a bone to pick with JT.
What?
It has to do with my roster for Camp Darling Island because
he blamed you for the Garrett Nussmeier pick. I'm just telling you.
That's totally fine. I did have him on there, but
terrible pick.
I think there was one more player who was selected I didn't have on my list, and there were players who were on my list that were not selected.
He said he went rogue.
We told him though because you were going. We're like, he can use one of your players, but also if you're not here, then you're not here. You know.
Fair.
Who was the player that you think you would have wanted?
I told him that I trusted him with the picks, and he could do his thing. If everybody was taken off my list,
damn.
I need to go and find who it was.
You got to find who the person you really missed out on because the leader and the candidate to be on the list who wasn't on it before is Armstrong, maybe.
Armstrong.
He's the guy who might. Armstrong might make it on the island.
we can add one person during camp that was never drafted. Him or Benson.
Yeah. Him or Benson. Those two guys have a chance to get on the island still. But you know that happens. If we bring an extra person on the island, that means double elimination day.
Correct.
That means two people have to be
Xavier
kicked off
Lloyd,
the island.
right now, I'll tell you. Xavier Lloyd.
Jalen Royal stinks and was a higher draft pick. My guy at least is supposed to not be.
Lloyd, at least, I agree with you, but at least Royals is getting first-team reps. Lloyd, I don't even know if he's out on the field.
Oh, he's at risk.
How early was Ashton Gelati taken? Because I did not have him on my list.
The second to last pick, I believe, in the draft.
Okay, because
we said we didn't think he should have been eligible, quite honestly.
But we allowed it.
That's what I thought. But this guy had a catch from Mahomes today, I think, for a touchdown. Jimmy Holiday, one of the other wide receivers. I was like, I'd like to take Jimmy Holiday
I just took
Bassa.
wide receivers.
I also said Bassa. I mean,
I suggested Bassa to both Gold and to JT.
Unbelievable. I had both of those guys on my list.
I don't think Gelati should have been eligible. So.
It doesn't matter. He's going to get kicked off. He can't practice.
I'll negotiate tomorrow. But I was really disappointed. I almost told him today, but I forgot. I was really disappointed. I was like, I had players that I had on my list that you didn't take. And now Ashton, I'm not blaming Ashton Gelati's injury on JT picking him, but there are other options out there, JT.
Gelati might be eliminated for multiple reasons, just because he shouldn't be eligible and the injury, like you said.
Between the feet thing and my picks, I don't know about this past week from JT, other than...
Oh, you also missed it. He also was. We were talking about a professor with a major for being an influencer.
Yeah.
How would you pronounce the name? Pucci?
Be careful.
Like Gucci, but
yes.
Well,
Bingo. That is correct.
He did not go that route.
It should have been Pucci, but he obviously did not go that route.
What? That's not saved as a drop in here.
We just don't know if we can play it.
We don't know if we can play it.
You can listen to it when the show ends.
He actually said it?
Oh, yeah.
JT.
And also, like, the way you said it was not with confidence, so it was like,
there's a little
with a little question at the end of it, like,